following is a presentation of WCYT Sports.
Laughlin the rebound, the clock hits zero. The Spartans are state champions. They avenged the loss from 2 years ago, and they'll take home a state championship.
Hands it off to Grant Raver going out of 15 down to the 5. Gets into the end zone for Homestead. 15-yard run for Grant Raver. Gets Homestead on the board.
Trying to get inside, nothing there. Step back, open three. It's gone! Todd Curry knocks it down. Spartans win! Spartans win!
On your dial at 91.1 FM and online at WCYT.org, it's time for the action of Homestead Spartan Athletics.
Survive and advance. That's a line that's been around nearly 40 years now. And last Friday night, the Homestead Spartan football team lived up to its definition to the fullest sense imaginable. In a game that never seemed to be going the Spartans' way, it took a series of unlikely scenarios to allow them a chance to survive and advance in this year's Indiana State football tournament. Trailing by 7 late in the game, quarterback Luke Goody led his Spartans on the biggest 2-minute drill in years. With 3 seconds on the clock and the Spartans down to what was potentially its final play of the season, Goody hit senior Griffin Little in the end zone.
1 play left to keep their season alive, have to score a touchdown, 8 yards to go. Ball is snapped, Goody back to throw, under pressure, can't find anyone, throws across the middle, caught in the end zone, Griffin Little, Homestead scores as time expires.
And after senior Gunner Fry's PAT kick was good, we were headed to overtime. The Spartans' newfound momentum carried over, and once Noblesville botched their field goal attempt on the first possession in overtime, the Spartans had to only score to ensure a spot in tonight's sectional championship. That chance once again rested on Gunner Fry's foot.
Ball is snapped, kick is up. Is it good? Yes! Homestead wins! Gunner Fry connects from 24 yards out, and the Spartans advance to face their arch rival Carroll in the sectional finals.
Survive in advance, which leads us to tonight. 2 rivals, 2 teams whose rosters are looking for their first ever sectional championship. Carroll and Homestead for the right to move on in the state tournament. It's time for the sectional championship round of high school football. The 10-0 Homestead Spartans host the 7-3 Carroll Chargers, live from Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. Now it's time for the Homestead Spartan football pregame show. Here's play-by-play broadcaster Donnie Harmon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Homestead High School for tonight's sectional final matchup between the visiting team, the 7-3 Carroll Chargers, and the home team, the 10-0 number 2 ranked Homestead Spartans. Welcome to high school football postseason, everyone. I'm Donnie Harmon alongside Matt Saalfrank and Brayden Carroll. We're just about 40 minutes away from kickoff, but for now, let's start with the Homestead Spartan pregame show. First off, we'll take a look back to last week as the Spartans traveled to Noblesville, a team 1-8 at the time, and what ended up being one of the craziest games this season. The Spartans struggled pretty much the entire game as they had lost 3 fumbles in the first half alone. Homestead was not able to take the lead until about halfway through the 4th quarter. However, with just 3 seconds remaining in regulation, the Spartans found themselves trailing by 7 on Noblesville's 10-yard line. Luke Goody found Griffin Little as time expired, and Gunner Fry's point after sent the game to overtime. Fry would connect on the game-winning field goal in OT as the Spartans held on to win 24-21 over Noblesville and advanced to the sectional final for the 2nd straight year.
Yeah, like you said, last week's game probably the craziest of the entire season for the Spartans. Noblesville was a good team, but the Spartans made some mistakes they usually don't make. The team had 3 lost fumbles in the first half and barely had the ball in the first 2 quarters at all. Noblesville dominated the game for pretty much 3.5 quarters, but the Spartans proved they had the will to win. All Noblesville had to do was prevent the Spartans scoring a touchdown with 3 seconds left, and of course the Miller defense gave up a passing touchdown from Goody to Little. Even though Noblesville only had 1 win coming into that game, they did give the Spartans their toughest test of the season. Homestead had 24 first downs compared to Noblesville's 11, but most of those coming in the final minutes of the 4th quarter for the Spartans. Luke Goody had a pretty good game, throwing for 267 yards on 24-44 passing, along with 2 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. The Spartans' running game struggled, having a season-low 75 net yards rushing, but 7 different receivers caught a pass for the Spartans, including Jake Archibald, who had 7 catches for 82 yards. Jared Kissler and Griffin Little each had 5 catches, but a win is a win for the Spartans as they move past Noblesville and improve to 10-0 on the season.
Yeah, it surely wasn't a pretty game to watch for both teams. Noblesville had a passer rating of 42.4. There was 14 penalties by both teams. Homestead contributed to 8 of those, and it was a very slow rushing game from Ryan Burton and Jake Archibald. But late game heroics from Little, Goody, and Fry kept Homestead in the game and ultimately in the playoffs.
And many people thought Homestead would be able to go down to Noblesville and win somewhat easily, as the Millers had a single win on the year. But with the toughest schedule in the state, Noblesville was up for the challenge against the Spartans. Homestead was ranked number 2 in the state, but went to overtime with the team who had one of the worst records in the state, which just goes to show how playing a tough schedule can benefit teams come postseason time.
Yeah, not only applies to high school football, but pretty much any competitive sport. Compared to most of the other 6A schools, Homestead has had a pretty easy schedule, while teams like Noblesville are playing some of the toughest competition in the state pretty much every week. And not to take anything away from the Spartans season, because it has been amazing. It's not like Ward Central from last year, who dominated every 6A Indy area school. Many expected Homestead to win the game pretty easily, given that the Spartans were undefeated and Noblesville had only a single win on the season. Like you said, this goes to show you can never underestimate any Indianapolis area team, no matter what their record is. You look at Noblesville, a team that went 1-8 in the regular season, compared to Southside, another team who went 1-8 in the regular season. But you have to give the Millers some credit. They gave Homestead a really tough game, and many times we're just a single play away from sealing the game.
Yeah, Noblesville's 8 losses came from very tough teams such as Avon, Carmel, and Brownsburg. Meanwhile, Homestead had a relatively speaking easier schedule, and it seemed as though they overlooked the 1-8 Millers. However, they came out with the power and versatility expected out in Indy area football, while Homestead came out with sloppy 3 turnovers. The Millers' low record didn't seem to even faze them last week.
And the absence of Braden Hardwick last week was noticeable, as the Spartans had by far their worst game rushing as a team, totaling just 75 net yards. Against teams like Wayne and Southside to end the year, the Spartans' running game looked steady without Hardwick, but after last week's performance, it shows how much Homestead needs to establish the running game in the postseason.
The running game will be very important going forward in the postseason. Homestead, like you said, was limited to by far their fewest rushing yards last week. The Noblesville run defense played a pretty good game against the Homestead run offense. I expect Ryan Burns to continue to start at running back, and he's actually not. It's going to be Tyler Burr starting at running back, but I expect the two to get quite a few snaps at the running back position. And even though neither of them are Braden Hardwick, they're both still decent runners. Neither of them really played much snaps at all the entire season. It's pretty much Hardwick every single play. So not much experience for them, but they've proven in the past 4 games or so that they've been able to run the ball decently well. And if Homestead wants to make a state championship run, they need someone, probably Burton or Burrs, to step up at running back and be able to make some plays for the Spartan offense.
Yeah, I mean, Hardwick was a good chunk of the offensive scoring for a majority of the season, which has showed since they dropped from 40 points per game to 24 in 2 of their last 3 games. So Hardwick's absence has brought Brian Burton into the spotlight, and he has proven that he is capable of being the man in the running game with his ability to convert third downs. But having Hardwick definitely gave Homestead the edge that defined their season.
That's going to take us to our first break of the night. When we come back, you'll hear Carson Clymer's interview with Homestead Spartan head football coach Chad Zolman. Get his thoughts on the regular season, how they prepare for the night's games. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan football, Point 91 FM.
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zestos. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Welcome back to the Homestead Spartan pregame show. I'm now joined by Homestead Spartan football head coach Chad Zolman. And first off, let's take a look back to last week as you defeated the Noblesville Millers 24-21 in an overtime thriller. There's a lot to unpack in that game. What were your initial takeaways from that game?
It's a good question. I don't think we played very well from the start. And when you don't play well, you give teams that have maybe not had success a lot more confidence, and they certainly played a lot better than we saw in film. And when that happens, you're in trouble. And we were in trouble the majority of the game.
And your team was on the verge of being bounced out of the playoffs the first game, but marched down the field with a couple minutes left and scored the game-tying touchdown to force overtime as time expired. What can you say about the way your team pulled through in the clutch?
Well, they played hard. I mean, that's the positive out of it, is that, and they've done it all year. They played hard for 4 quarters, and it required four quarters plus last week to get it done. But they didn't give up. I didn't see any heads dragging. They were still talking to each other, encouraging each other, and telling everybody we could still do this and things like that. So that was encouraging to see them kind of rally and stick together, and good things happen when you do that.
And the Noblesville team you played was 1-8, but gave you one of the toughest challenges of the season. Is there a chance your team overlooked them a bit, or is it just very hard to gauge a team how good they are when you don't see them play in person, or because of the level of competition they play?
I think it's a little bit of all that. They were 1-8, but the teams that they've played were tremendous. They've played, I think they opened with Cathedral, and then they had a 6A schedule all the way through with a conference that's known for good football. And so that was part of it. And then we just didn't get off the bus and play well. And that's a lot of it. And our execution probably in the first through the third quarter was as poor as it's been. And that's disappointing. Maybe, I don't know what it was, and I hope it's an anomaly, and we move on from there.
Coach Chad Zolman joins me here in the pregame show. And maybe something that has been taken for granted this year is kicking, as senior Gunnar Fry has been extremely reliable for your team this year. In a game where the opposing team had 3 kicks either blocked or mishandled, Gunnar Fry was perfect in hitting the game-winning field goal in overtime. Does that go to show how important special teams was?
100%. Gunnar, he's been Mr. Consistency for us all year, and extra points, he's been almost automatic, and field goals, he's rarely misses a field goal. So we're fairly confident in that group. And if you get the blocks done and the mechanics of the snap and the hold all correct, we feel like Gunnar's going to put it through. And he certainly put us into overtime and then won it. It was a great job on his part.
In a week where the only other 2 undefeated teams in 6A lost, what does it mean for your team to survive and advance, even in the nail-biting manner that you did?
And I told the team that too after the game. The name of the game at this point is just to move on, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect and all those things that we hope for, but we are moving on, and that's the main thing. So we get an opportunity to play tonight at a sectional championship game, and that's a tribute to them, and they deserve it. They earned it, and they worked hard to get here, and so that's the name of the game.
And many people penciled you in to rematch with Snyder in the sectional championship when the draw was announced, but the Panthers couldn't stop the Carroll offense in a rout to a 42-31 loss. And with your team a few plays away from being upset as well, is that just proof that the postseason is so unpredictable, and when it's a win or go home, anything can happen?
That's exactly right. A few years ago, I think a Northwood team was 3-6 going into the playoffs and won a state championship. So it is truly a second season. It's an opportunity to redeem some of the losses maybe you had during the season, and certainly for Carroll, from Carroll's perspective, they've already redeemed a big one to Snyder, and they certainly would like to do that against us, I'm sure. So you never know. They're playing they played really well last week, and they were impressive.
And once again, I'm joined by Coach Chad Zolman here in the pregame show. And looking at tonight's opponent, the rival Carroll Chargers, you beat them 42-15 in Week 7 of this year. What has changed for both teams since then?
Hopefully we've both gotten better. I think, there's certain things of the game that we have cleaned up and become better at, and I think they have too, obviously, to come out and play as well as they did Friday night. But those types of things, I think you've developed your personality to the fullest extent as far as the team goes and what you're good at and what, things like that. Unfortunately, both teams have probably sustained some injuries, and so that changes you a little bit and how you approach games. And so those are the main changes, I think. But I think it's going to be 2 football teams that are ready to go.
And how do you prepare differently for a team the second time around?
Well, you have the advantage of having film against that opponent specifically. So there's some things that we would like to do better this time around. So we prepared for those things, and things that we'd like to clean up on offense and defense. And, we've kind of focused on, and we certainly trying to stop some of the things they were successful at doing against us on offense too, and on defense. So those are the advantages that you have of watching a film from a previous game. But it was Game 7, and this is Game 11, so it was a few weeks ago. So it's totally different teams sometimes.
And this rivalry against Carroll is one of the biggest in the state. How much excitement is there for this game now that a regional berth is added to the usual prize of bragging rights?
Well, it's always a big game against Carroll, but the fact that both teams are playing for some hardware tonight amps it up, and our kids know that, and they know what's on the line and know that they're going to have to play really well to win.
And what would a sectional championship mean to this group?
it's a culmination of hard work, and it would be a reward for everything that they've done throughout the season, throughout the preseason, and all that went on to get to this point. And so it would be a nice reward for the seniors and for the whole team, for everybody that's worked that hard.
And finally, Coach, can you give us some keys to a Homestead Spartan victory tonight?
Well, on offense, we can't turn the ball over. Last week we turned it over 3 times in the first half and kind of shot ourselves in the foot over and over, and cannot do that against Carroll. We will not be successful if we do that. So control the ball, no turnovers, and penalties again have haunted us a little bit on certain drives. And so we clean that stuff up. Our offense is really good when they don't do those things. And on defense, the quarterback for Carroll is a tremendous football player, and he makes everything tick for them. And so we have to control the long ball, make sure that they're earning yards and not giving up big plays. And those are some keys for us. It's easier said than done, but that's what we're trying to do.
All right, Coach, thanks and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the pregame show leading up to kickoff of tonight's game. It's Homestead and Carroll right here on your Spartan Sports Source, the Point 91 FM.
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zestos. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arby's.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
And now, let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football, right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School for tonight's sectional final matchup featuring the undefeated Homestead Spartans and the Carroll Chargers. I'm Donnie Harmon alongside Matt Saalfrank, Braden Carroll, continuing on with Homestead Spartan pregame show, and heading into the postseason. Nearly everyone was expecting to see a Snyder-Homestead sectional final. After Carroll struggled with Wayne in the final week of the season, it appeared that the Chargers would not be able to keep up with the powerful Panther offense. However, at Spooler Stadium, Carroll knocked off Snyder in an offensive clinic 42-31.
Yeah, I definitely overlooked Carroll a bit and thought that they would be an easy win for the Snyder team. Coming into the postseason, I thought Snyder was the second best team in the SAC, but I really don't know anymore. Probably not anymore. But you have to give some credit to the Chargers. They stepped up to the challenge and knocked off a very good Snyder team.
Yeah, Carroll offense balled out when a pigskin was in the air. Wide receiver Mason Engler put up 143 yards on 8 receptions, and Morrison hit the end zone twice out of 3 receptions. And Becker had quite the game at QB with 18 yards per throw.
And Jeffrey Becker played one of the best games of his career last week, accounting for every touchdown the Chargers scored. After a rough end of the regular season, you think Becker is going to need a big game tonight if Carroll wants any chance at revenge.
Yeah, Jeffrey Becker did not have a good game when Homestead played Carroll. In the regular season, he was very inaccurate and just couldn't seem to connect on the important passes when he needed to. But against Snyder, like you said, he looked like he could challenge Luke Goody. For the best quarterback in the SAC, Becker accounted for every touchdown Carroll scored against Snyder. He played incredibly well, by far his best game of the season. And if he plays like he did last week, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is a lot closer than people expected.
Yeah, Carroll Jeffrey Becker is the talk of the town after the win over the Panthers. He had 324 passing yards against one of the top teams in the section, which is nearly doubling his average output. He carried Carroll and provided them a seed of hope heading into today's clash.
Now we're going to take another break. When we come back, you'll hear Matt sit down with senior kicker Gunnar Fry, so stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan football, the Point 91 FM.
This portion of today's broadcast on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zestos. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arby's.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections, dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
I'm here with Homestead senior kicker Gunnar Fry for this week's player interview here in the Homestead Football Pregame Show. And Gunnar, we start with the game last Friday. After the Spartans scored a touchdown with no time left in regulation, you had to knock down a PAT to send the game to overtime, and you did just that. Then in overtime, you knocked down a game-winning field goal to send the Spartans to the sectional final against Carroll. How did you feel after both kicks, and which did you feel the most pressure on?
Yeah, it was really exciting. I probably felt the most pressure on the extra point, knowing if I didn't make that, we wouldn't move on to the sectional finals, and, just relying on my line and my holder, Jake, get it done. Having a lot of trust in them is a key.
And last week against Noblesville, the team struggled for most of the game. However, in the fourth quarter, something changed, and the Spartans seemed to take control of the game. What do you think was the turning point in that game?
I think we knew that we were going to win the whole time. We had belief, knowing that we were down, we had to score. We didn't want to go home. I think that really just lit a fire in some of the guys and, changed the game.
And knowing it's a win or go home in the postseason, how important is it for the team to have trust in you to make kicks, knowing a miss could send the Spartans into the offseason?
Yeah, I've been the kicker for my sophomore year, junior year I missed, but I think coaches know they have a lot of trust in me, sending me out there, and a lot of trust in the line and the holders to make it happen.
And like you said, you missed nearly the entire season last year's kicker. You would normally expect kickers to struggle after missing a long period of time, but that is not the case for you. How would you rate your individual success this season?
I've been doing pretty good. I took a lot of time in the off season, worked hard, both in the weight room and practicing. Even through the winter, I went down Texas, trained a lot there. So, I think it was due to that.
And what are some of the differences from the 2018 Spartan team compared to this year's?
This group of seniors this year is really special. We have a lot of good athletes, and just the bond that we built in the off season really has helped us through this year.
And coming into the postseason, many thought there would be a Homestead-Snyder rematch in the sectional final. However, Carroll knocked off the Panthers last week to set up a rematch of the Week 7 game where the Spartans won 42-15 against Carroll. What are some keys for the Spartan team if they want to win their first sectional since 2016?
We have to go out there, play our game. If we play our best game, there's not many teams that can stop us. You just have to play with execution over emotion. Can't let the other team get in our head and mess with us.
All right, thanks, Gunnar, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the pregame show leading up kickoff of tonight's sectional final matchup right after this. You're listening to Homestead Spartan Football on the Point 91 FM.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard next to Dunkin' Donuts Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by dialing 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in Southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football, right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back to Homestead High School for tonight's sectional final matchup between the number 2 Homestead Spartans and the Carroll Chargers. I'm Donnie Harmon alongside Matt Saalfrank and Braden Carroll, continuing on with the pregame show, and now it's time for me and Matt's weekly segment, Look Around the SAC.
And now it's time for a look around the SAC with Donnie and Matt. Statewide tonight marks the sectional championship round, and now in to discuss the SAC teams still in action this evening, here's Donnie Harmon.
Welcome to Look Around the SAC. I'm Donnie Harmon here with Matt Saalfrank. And Matt, we have a very special look around the SAC. There's only 3 SAC games this week. We're going to take a look at some other games around the area as well and make picks for each 6A game.
Yeah, quite a few games on tonight compared to the rest of the season.
We'll start off with the SAC. Obviously, the big game tonight is Homestead and Carroll at home. We're calling that one. Not going to make predictions, but in 5A, Northrop at Dwenger. Northrop gave Dwenger a run for their money the last time out. Can the Bruins pull an upset?
I don't know. Like you said, it's a rematch from Week 9 of the regular season where Dwenger knocked down a field goal in the fourth quarter to beat the Bruins 9-7. The Saints are coming off a good win over Northside, 35-22, ending the Legends and Deuce Taylor's season. Northrop coming off a road win at Goshen, 24-6. I expect this one to be a little bit more high scoring compared to when these teams met a few weeks ago, but I think Northrop somehow pulls off the upset and knocks off the defending 4A state champs Bishop Dwenger 27-26 after a last-second PAT is blocked by the Bruins special teams unit.
An upset could be brewing tonight, but I think Dwenger wins this one 24-13. I think their defense is able to slow down Northrop enough. I think their offense gets going a little bit more in this one. So I do think Dwenger is able to pull this one out, but it is going to be a tough game for them. They didn't play great against Northside. This Dwenger team, I don't think they're quite as good as last year. They struggled in some games they probably shouldn't, but I do think they get the win. And the other SAC game in 3A, Concordia at Peru, not Purdue.
Yeah, the Concordia coming off a win over Norwell, 17-14 last week. I think a lot of people expected that one to be a blowout, but Norwell gave them a pretty tough game. Cadets now 6-5 on the season, currently on a 3-game winning streak. Peru, their opponent tonight, is also 6-5 on the season. They're coming off an easy win over a weak Heritage team last week, 37-7. And even though both teams have the same record, Concordia has played by far the toughest schedule of the two. I think Concordia wins big in this one and captures a sectional championship this year after getting upset last year early on. The Cadets winning 35-3 over Peru.
Both teams 6-5 entering this game, but obviously Concordia has played a much tougher schedule than Peru has. Peru, I know they got beat up by Mechanic who Concordia handled pretty easily in that game. I think Concordia wins this one 35-14. I don't see the Cadets losing this. I think they punched their ticket to regionals. I think they play the winner of West Lafayette and Bishop Chautauqua. They do, so I don't think the Cadet season will go much farther than regionals, but I definitely don't see them losing tonight at Peru. In 4A, Leo at East Noble. East Noble, I believe, number 2 in 4A, undefeated. They've handled everyone this year.
Yeah, the top 2 teams in the NE8 playing in this one. East Noble ranked number 1 in the coaches poll, and like you said, number 2 in the media poll. The Knights 11-0 on the season. East Noble coming off a 42-14 win at home against fellow NE8 opponent DeKalb last week. East Noble was actually my pick to win the state championship in Class 4A before the postseason started. Their opponent, Leo, coming off a low-scoring win over a very good Northwood team last week, 10-6. The Lions 10-1 on the season, with their only loss coming to East Noble. This game will be a rematch from Week 5 of the regular season, where East Noble destroyed Leo and won 35-7. But I think this game will be a lot closer tonight, and I have Leo pulling off the upset to hand East Noble their first loss of the season by a score of 35-28.
Leo, they lost 35-7 to East Noble the first time. Bailey Parker for East Noble. He has a case to be the MVP of the area this year, just based on what he does in the passing game, on the ground, and on defense. Peyton Wall has to have a huge game for Leo. They want to compete in this one. I do think it's closer than the last one, but I do think East Noble pulls this one out. I think that the Knights win this about 28-14. I think it's close, but Bailey Parker scores a touchdown late to give the Knights a comfortable win. And then 2A, Fairfield at Eastside. Can Eastside win their first sectional?
I think they are going to do it. They beat a Bishop Lewis team who struggled in the SAC regular season, but always a tough out in the postseason based on how tough their schedule is. In the regular season, they only won 13-6 last week over Lewis. The Blazers 9-2 on the season, while their opponent Fairfield 6-5 on the season. But I think I'm going to take Eastside in this one, 29-2.
It'll be Fairfield only 6-5. Eastside, I think they win this one in a close one, 21-17. And then in 1A, a couple area games. Madison Grant at South Adams, undefeated, number 2 in 1A. And Adams Central, another one of the top teams at Northfield. Are either of these teams on upset alert?
I don't think so. South Adams has about a 36-point margin of victory per game this season. The Starfires 11-0 in the season, including 5 shutouts. South Adams the favorite to represent the North in the 1A state championship, and anything less would be a major disappointment. This one should be over in the first quarter. I think the Starfires roll over Madison Grant 56-6.
Yeah, I think South Adams wins in a big fashion against Madison Grant. Adams Central, on the other hand, at Northfield, I think this one could be a little closer than a lot of people expect. I have Adams Central winning this one 35-21. I think another touchdown late pulls away. But it's going to be a tough game for them. Northfield, they're a pretty solid team. Adams Central, not quite on the level of South Adams, but that'll be a great matchup. And regionals, those two teams both win. Now looking at 6A, starting with Sectional 1, Merrillville, 1 loss on the year, close one to Valpo, one of the top teams in 5A, just knocked off undefeated Lafayette Jeff. They traveled to Crown Point.
Yeah, like you said, coming off a great win over the number 2 ranked team in the state, Lafayette Jefferson, last week. Like you said, the Pirates' only loss coming to Valpo, one of the best teams in Class 5A, by a single point early on in the season. I think this team is a bit of a dark horse pick to make it to the state championship in 6A, representing the North. Their opponent, Crown Point, they took Merrillville to overtime earlier this season. But this Bulldogs team, I really don't think it's anything special. 6-4 on the season. They're coming off a win over one of the worst teams in 6A. I expect to see the mercy rule in this one as Merrillville wins 36-0.
I actually think it's going to be a lot closer. This Crown Point team, they're pretty solid at 6-4. I think Merrillville is in control of this game, but I do think they only win 28-17, and they punch their ticket to regionals. Sectional 2, Penn, a traditional power in the North. They've won state titles before they got into state multiple times. This Penn team takes Warsaw 8-2. Penn only 6-4 on the year. Warsaw, a solid team. Who wins this one?
Penn coming off a 13-6 win over Portage last week. Warsaw 8-2 on the year. Haven't faced the toughest of competition this season. They're coming off a 7-point win over Chesterton last week. I think Penn wins this one fairly easily. Even though Penn has 4 losses on the season, 2 are coming to out-of-state teams, and the other 2 coming to top 5 teams in Class 4A and 5A. I think the Kingsmen win 21-17 and capture a sectional title.
I agree with you. I think Penn wins this one probably 35-21. This Warsaw team, they have the better record. I don't think they play quite as stiff a competition. Some close games against questionable opponents like Michigan City, Elkhart Memorial. And I think Ron Powless is the difference maker for Penn in this one. He's a very good quarterback. And this Penn team, they just know how to win. They know how to have success. Didn't have a great game against Portage last week, but they did win. And a couple of their losses coming to very good teams. New Prairie, one of the top teams in 4A. And some good out-of-state opponents like Cincinnati, St. Xavier, Homewood, Flossmoor, and Valparaiso. So this Penn team, their losses, they haven't looked great in a lot of them, but they are against good teams. I think Penn wins this one. Sectional 3, obviously, Carroll at Homestead, not making predictions for this game. But Sectional 4, the winner of Sectional 3 will face either Westfield or Carmel in regionals.
Yeah, Westfield coming off a surprising win over Fishers last week, a team that I picked to make it to the state championship in Class 6A. Carmel, after a rough stretch in the middle of the season, myself and others thought this would be the down year for the Carmel football program. However, the Greyhounds are coming off a 14-point win over HSC last week. And like you said, the winner of this game plays the winner of Carroll and Homestead. If Westfield wins, Homestead goes to Westfield. If Carmel wins, Homestead hosts Carmel. But about this game, I think this one stays low scoring, but Carmel ends up winning 20-16.
I think it's going to be a low scoring game. Westfield coming off a very dominant performance over Fishers. I didn't see that one coming. And Carmel, they've been playing good football. It really started in week 8 rather, against Warren Central. Got a convincing 28-0 victory. Westfield, I think they keep it close. I think Carmel wins this one 17-14. Definitely going to be a defensive battle. This Carmel team just knows how to have success in the postseason more. Then Sectional 5, Brownsburg 7-3, just knocked off the number 1 team in the state, Avon. They travel to take on a 4-6 Zionsville team that just had a convincing 36-0 victory over Pike.
Yeah, like you said, Brownsburg upsetting number 1 ranked Avon last week. Bulldogs probably the best team remaining in 6A. I don't know. They're one of the best, I think, in Zionsville. Coming off a shutout win over Pike. Like you said, 4-6 on the season. The Eagles have played some very good teams in a tough regular season schedule. Lost to Avon by 3, Fishers by 7 a few weeks ago. But these two teams, Brownsburg and Zionsville, actually met in week 7 of the regular season, with Brownsburg winning 54-14. I think that continues, and I think the Bulldogs win this one very easily, 35-7 tonight.
This is going to be a closer game. I think a lot of people think the Zionsville team has given some really good teams some games, and Brownsburg coming off a big win, but I think this one actually goes to overtime. I think Brownsburg wins 28-24, but Colin Price for Zionsville ran for over 1,500 yards on the year. He's a difference maker in this game. And Zionsville playing with some confidence, they make it a game. Brownsburg gets the job done in overtime. Sectional 6, Southport 7-3 at Ben Davis 6-4, but Ben Davis has to be the heavy favorite in this game.
Yeah, Southport coming off a 1-point win over Indianapolis Tech last week. Ben Davis coming off a 57-0 win over Perry Meridian. I think Ben Davis actually has a decent chance at making it to the state championship this season. I have the Giants winning this one 41-14.
It's going to be a blowout. Southport just doesn't play enough competition to be prepared to face a team like Ben Davis. I have Ben Davis winning this one 42-7. Then Sectional 7, Lawrence North ended a 15-game losing streak to Lawrence Central, their rivals, 4-6, traveling to take on the defending state champions, Warren Central.
Yeah, Lawrence North coming off a 7-point win over their rival Lawrence Central. Warren Central coming off a 7-point win over North Central. Warriors are defending 6A state champions, but have a tough matchup tonight, I think. These teams met in the regular season with Warren Central winning by a single point. But I think the Wildcats of Lawrence North pull off the upset and win 31-28.
I agree with you, 31-28. That sounds right. This Lawrence North team, they're going to knock off the defending state champions, and the reason why is 4-star dual-threat quarterback Donovan McCauley for the Wildcats. He's a really good player. And this Lawrence North team, they're going to be playing with some confidence after that big win. Warren Central, they beat North Central, but they're not as good as last year. Lawrence North gets the job done, a surprising upset. And in Sectional 8, a pair of 5-5 teams, Franklin Central, traveling to take on Center Grove.
Yeah, both teams coming off wins over Columbus East and North last week. I think Center Grove is by far the better team in this one, despite the 5-5 record they both have. I think Center Grove wins this one 28-8.
I agree, Center Grove. They've lost to some better teams in Franklin Central. I do think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think the Trojans win this 14-3, and that'll do it for this week's Look Around the SAC, and really look around the SAC and beyond. Stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartans football, the Point 91 FM.
Casa Italian Restaurants with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine in or carry out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number, once again, is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football, right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back to Homestead High School for the nice sectional final matchup between rivals Carroll and Homestead. I'm Donnie Harmon here with Matt Saalfrank and Brayden Carroll, continuing on with the pregame show. And guys, with that loss last week, Snyder, they snapped a streak of winning 15 straight sectional championships.
Yeah, that one was a bit surprising. When it happened, I thought Snyder would probably lose to Homestead if they had to play tonight in the sectional championship, but I'm kind of shocked they lost to Carroll. Like you said, they snap a very long streak of pretty much winning every single game in the sectionals, but I guess it's now time for Carroll and Homestead to prove that they are the better teams than Snyder. I mean, Snyder didn't look the greatest, but I kept thinking late in the postseason they're going to get it going, and they just couldn't quite get it going, and they somehow lose to Carroll. They have so much talent on that team. John Barnes Jr., the quarterback, and so many key defensive players that they lose to graduation, and you just have to really wonder how Snyder was able to lose that one to Carroll. I mean, give Carroll some credit as well. They played a very good game, but just Snyder, they only beat Carroll by a single point in week 2 of the regular season, but previously in the past, Snyder's been good when they play a team a second time in the same season, and I'm very shocked by that game.
Yeah, Snyder has spent the past couple decades in the driver's seat and spent this year almost in the driver's seat for the victory bell. And there was little contention in the way this season. However, this year's combination of Homestead and Carroll took its toll on the Panthers, and, well, they fell in the playoffs to one of those teams. Now it's all up to the two teams to decide who's the king.
And with Avon and Lafayette Jefferson losing last week, Homestead is now the only unbeaten team remaining in Class 6A.
Yeah, after the final week of the regular season, Avon was ranked number 1, and Homestead and Lafayette Jeff were each tied for second in Class 6A. And if there was another poll that came out, you'd think Homestead would probably be number 1. As you said, they're the only undefeated team left in Class 6A of the 32 teams. Only one that's 10-0. It's nice to see Homestead getting some recognition by some of the media members around the state. You know, some certain reporters around Indianapolis usually have a bias towards that area, but it's nice to see Homestead, even though the ranking was a few weeks ago to be ranked number 2 in the state. That's very impressive, probably the highest ranking this team has ever gotten in football.
Yeah, Homestead's schedule of Dwenger, Snyder, Noblesville, and Carroll has definitely made it, you can say it's been a battle to that 10-0 record. However, the combination of Goody, Oswald, and Hardwick for most of the season made their ride go a little smoother and kept driving, even without Hardwick. Homestead earned their spot as the most feared of Class A. Now it's all to earn their spot as the best in Class A.
The second wide receiver, number 6, Jared Kistler.
Even Lafayette Jefferson losing last week. Homestead was almost lost to Noblesville. It was almost 0 undefeated teams remaining in Class 6A. And Noblesville only 1 win. Homestead may be overlooked them, but you don't think they're going to overlook this Carroll team tonight, despite a 42-15 win over the Chargers earlier in the year.
Yeah, I think after how close the Spartans were to losing last week, Homestead will definitely be better prepared tonight against Carroll. And even if the Spartans are down early, they have proved they can come back as they did last week against Noblesville. And despite the blowout win over Carroll earlier on in the season, I think tonight's game should be a lot closer.
Yeah, Homestead knows that the atmosphere and the power that playoff season brings to any team will make them work twice as hard and put everything on the line. So Spartans have definitely learned from their mistakes against the Millers and are now ready for mayhem from the Chargers.
We're going to take one last quick break. We'll be back with kickoff, so stay tuned.
This portion of today's broadcast on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin' Donuts Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by calling 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead athletic coverage on our station. Casa Italian Restaurants with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring Fort Wayne's famous Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Online at CasaRestaurants.com. Follow Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back to Homestead High School for the night's sectional final matchup between the Homestead Spartans and Carroll Chargers. I'm Donnie Harmon alongside Matt Saalfrank, as we're just about set for kickoff here at Homestead High School. What are some keys for this game?
Yeah, well, starting off with both teams, you got to take care of the ball. You got to limit the turnovers. We saw Homestead have quite a few costly turnovers in the first half. Last week, just uncharacteristic turnovers. Jake Archibald had a fumble on a punt return we don't really ever see him turn the ball over. So Homestead, they got to limit the turnovers. And same for Carroll. It's cold out here. Not too windy, though, so I don't really think the passing game will be affected for either team, and obviously limit the penalties. Homestead and Carroll, they both had so many penalties last week, just at the wrong times, and probably the team who has the fewest penalties is probably going to win this one, because we've seen how these teams played earlier on in the season. It can get a little bit chippy sometimes. A a lot of emotion going on between these two rivals, so whichever team stays the most disciplined, I think will probably win.
Homestead won the toss the first and the second half. This first drive, it's a chance for the Carroll Chargers to make a statement.
Yeah, we saw when Carroll played Homestead in Week 7, they were able to drive the ball down the field pretty much every single possession they had, but the difference was that the Homestead defense in the red zone, they were able to limit Carroll to just field goals, but Carroll still able to drive the ball down the field, but the Homestead defense stepped up when they needed to. So yeah, I think this could be a huge statement for Carroll if they're able to drive the ball down the field on this opening drive of the sectional championship and score a touchdown.
Carroll put up 42 last week on Snyder. Sophomore quarterback Jeff Becker had a huge game.
Yeah, quite a game for him. It was very impressive. When Homestead played Carroll earlier on in the season, he wasn't the most impressive, had a lot of missed passes that if they were complete, who knows, Carroll might have ended up winning that game. But yeah, an amazing game last week against Snyder. Accounted for every single touchdown that the Chargers scored in that one. I expect him to have a big game tonight if Carroll wants any chance of beating Homestead.
Winner of this game punches their ticket to regionals to face either the winner of Carmel or Westfield. Homestead won the previous matchup against Carroll 42-15, Week 7.
Spartans, number 22, Aiden lays off deep to receive for Carroll.
Aiden lays off back to return for Carroll. Fry, last week's hero, set to kick off. And we're off in this sectional final matchup between Homestead and Carroll. Fielded back right side by Carroll. They take it out to the 25 before they'll be pulled down by several Homestead defenders. The Chargers set up at about their own 27.
Yeah, good play by the Homestead special teams to start the game. You really don't want to give a big return to start the game, and the Spartans special teams did not give up a big play right there.
That was Hunter Mertz who returned it for the Chargers. He got to his own 27, and that's where the Chargers will set up shop. 11:52 left in the first quarter. Winner advances to regionals. Carroll looking for their first sectional title since 2014. Homestead looking for the first since 2016. Carroll lines up on 1st and 10 with an empty backfield. 3 receivers out left, 2 right. Ball near the middle of the field. Becker, the quarterback. Back to throw on 1st down. Under some pressure from Rayburn. He rolls out left side and he stumbles and falls. A big loss on 1st down. Not a good start for the Chargers offense. And they'll be backed up on 2nd and long at their own 21.
Yeah, not the greatest start for this Carroll offense. They only average about 26.9 points per game compared to Homestead's 38.8. So Homestead the more powerful offense of the two.
2nd and 16 for Carroll. Ball on the left hash at their own 21. 2 receivers out right. Fake handoff up the middle. Throws it. Looking for his receiver, incomplete. And it'll be 3rd and 16.
Yeah, those are the passes if you're Becker. You need to complete those if you want any chance of beating Homestead tonight.
He was looking for Bowden Height across the middle. 3rd and 16 for the Chargers at their own 21. Becker in the backfield with the senior running back Evan Harris. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball is snapped. Becker back to throw on 3rd down. Under some pressure, steps up in the pocket, looks downfield, throws it deep, and sails it over everybody. No one in the area, and it'll be 4th and 16. A great defensive start for the Spartans as the Chargers will be forced to punt.
Yeah, that drive was decided by Becker. 1 play just kind of fell down, then 2 incompletions, and nothing really going at all for that Charger offense in that first drive.
Archibald's back to return the punt for Homestead inside his own 40.
Trevor Horton, number 97.
The All-SAC first-team kicker Trevor Horton will punt away. Ball is snapped. His punt is up. It's a bit of a short one. Homestead's got to be careful. It bounces on their side of the field, rolls past the 50, and out of bounds at about the Homestead 49. So good field position for the Spartans as junior quarterback Luke Goody leads his troops out there.
Yeah, pretty much the perfect start for this Homestead defense. Carroll actually had negative 6 yards, total yards on that previous drive. Did not pick up a first down, and this is a good chance for the Homestead offense to make a statement, put up some points. Early on in this one, they have some pretty decent field position.
11:03 left in the first quarter as Homestead takes over in this scoreless ball game at their own 49, 1st and 10. Tyler Burris getting the start at running back tonight. Homestead on the right hash, their own 49. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Tight end left side. Goody in the backfield. Burris right behind him. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burris on 1st down. Gets up the middle, gets some space. Pushes forward close to the 40.
Number 7,
and that'll be good.
Burris.
Just enough for a first down. Tyler Burris' first carry is a good one as Homestead keeps the chains moving inside Carroll territory.
Homestead first down.
Homestead first in the SAC during the regular season in yards per carry. They averaged 5.9, and that was good for gain of over 10 yards right there.
1st and 10 for Homestead. The Carroll 41, 10:50 left in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game on the right hash. 2 receivers lined up right, tight end right side, and a wingback to the right. Goody in shotgun formation with Burris. Tight end and wingback motion to the left. Ball is snapped. Goody hands it off to Burris. Cuts out past the left tackle, and he's taken down after a gain of about a yard or 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Spartans.
A yard or 2 on the play. Second down.
Tyler Burris, another great run right there for the Spartans. Homestead, they struggled in their run game last week, only getting 75 total net yards rushing, their lowest of the season by far, but so far the running game has looked steady early on.
Call it 2nd and 9 for the Spartans at the Carroll, just inside the Carroll 40. Ball a couple yards from the middle of the field. Homestead lines up. Empty formation, 2 receivers either side. Tight end to the right, that's Little. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw on 2nd down. Screen pass left side for Archbold, incomplete. That play got blown up by Carroll, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Homestead Spartans.
3rd down.
Luke Goody, very accurate quarterback. First in the SAC, 63.4 completion percentage. Couldn't quite connect with Archbold. Right there is Homestead, similar to Carroll, facing a long 3rd down.
3rd and 8 at the Charger 39. 9:55 left in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game. Homestead looking to get points early. They force a 3 and out. Carroll's first drive. And they'll line up with 3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Ball in the middle of the field. Goody in the backfield with Burris. Ball is snapped back to throw on 3rd down under pressure. Burris picks up the block. Goody rolls out right side. Finds Little. He gets upfield past the first down marker, and he's pulled down. How about Tyler Burris picking up the block there, allowing Goody to find his man Griffin Little, last week's hero, across the middle.
Yeah, Griffin Little, 5 receptions, 58 yards, and like you said, the game-tying touchdown as time expired last week against Noblesville to send the game to overtime.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Homestead. The Charger 29 on the right hash. 9:40 left in the first quarter. Scoreless game. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Wingback up left. Goody in the backfield with Burris. Hand off to Burris on 1st down. Pushes forward, gets some good blocks, and he's pulled down after a gain of, call it about 6 or 7.
He'll pick up 6
this
yards
Carroll
on the
team,
play.
through the
Second
SAC
down.
regular season, they were first with 63 tackles for loss so far. Haven't had too many of those.
It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Spartans at the Charger 23. 9:10 left in the first quarter. Scoreless game. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right for Homestead. Rogers up at the wing back to the left. Goody in the backfield with Burris. Wingback motions to the right. Ball on the right hash. Ball is snapped at a high snap. Hand off to Burris up the middle. Pushes forward. He gets close to the first down marker before he's taken down. I think it'll be 3rd down and about 1.
Of a first down. 3rd down.
In Homestead, continuing to run the ball in a few passes. Something they didn't do last week in the first quarter. They actually had the ball for a couple minutes. A few turnovers in the first quarter last week. They really didn't have much possession of the ball at all, but already quite a few minutes taken off the clock.
8:30 left in the first. Scoreless ball game as Homestead has it at the Carroll 20. 3rd and 1. Chargers looking for a big defensive stop. Receiver either side for Homestead. Line up with a lot of guys up front. Ball is snapped. Archbold takes a Wildcat snap, runs up the middle, has some space. 10, 5, into the end zone. Jake Archbold takes the Wildcat snap, and he runs it up the middle for a 20-yard touchdown. Homestead with the early 6-0 lead. 8 minutes, 9 seconds left in the first.
Wow, what a play by Jake Archbold. Scores a touchdown for the Spartans to open the game with a 6-0 lead. A very nice run by Jake Archbold. A Wildcat play. Haven't really seen him in the quarterback position the entire year. Hasn't thrown a pass aside from last week on that kind of a botched field goal, but a great run by Jake Archbold to put the Spartans up early in this one.
And Jake Archbold's been Homestead's Swiss Army knife this year, returning kicks, 11 receiving touchdowns. That was his 3rd rushing touchdown. Leads the team in interceptions as he has 4 on the year. A do-it-all player, the senior captain, as Gunnar Fries on to attempt the extra point for the Spartans. Ball is snapped. Kick is up. Almost got blocked, but it's up and in. 7-0 Homestead, 8:09 left in the first quarter, and a great start for the Spartans.
Yeah, probably the perfect start that Homestead could have had. The defense gives Carroll -6 yards. Carroll not able to do anything, not even able to pick up a single first down, 3 and out for the Charger offense. The Spartans get decent field position right about midfield, and they march down the field. Quite a few plays, quite a few runs, quite a few passes, and it's Jake Archbold who scores a 20-yard rushing touchdown.
And big for Homestead, they're able to establish the running game on that first drive as Tyler Burris, he's not Braden Hardwick, but he got positive yardage every play. Got a lot of first downs. Eventually, Jake Archbold able to run it for a touchdown. Homestead got good blocking up front.
Yeah, I mentioned Homestead only 75 rushing yards last week. I think probably maybe 30 or 45 right about now. The running game, like you said, has looked pretty good early on in this one for the Spartans.
Homestead with a 7-0 lead, 8:09 left in the first. Homestead got the early momentum. Now it's time for the defense to go back out there and try and do what they did that first drive.
Yeah, this would be huge if the Spartan defense is able to hold Carroll to no points in this drive for second straight drive.
Fry will kick off for the Spartans as they now have a 7-0 lead as Jake Archbold took a wildcat snap, ran up the middle for a touchdown. Archbold obviously spent some time at quarterback last season as he split snaps with Luke Goody, moved to slot and safety this year.
Gunnar Fry to kick off for the Spartans.
Homestead snatches the early momentum up 7-0 as Fry is set to kick off for Homestead. A squib kick up the middle, bounces, and Carroll, that's Mertz, he feels it inside his 20, gets up to the 25, pushes forward along the right hash, close to the 30 before he's pulled down.
Hunter Mertz on the return.
A decent little return, and Carroll have solid field position to start their second drive as they're looking for a different result from the last one.
First down and 10.
Yeah, it really wasn't bad. Just nothing really happened good in that drive for Carroll. Becker just kind of fell down, took the sack by Bryce Raber, I believe, for a 6-yard loss. Then 2 incompletions by Becker, and Carroll was punting. So it's hard to judge how they look in that first drive. Just couldn't get anything going.
Carroll starts at their own 30 on the right hash. They'll line up with 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Becker in shotgun formation as he hands it off left side out the middle along the left tackle. That's Hunter Mertz, and he'll be pulled down after a gain of about 2 yards.
Number 10, Hunter Mertz.
Hunter Mertz plays outside linebacker for the Chargers, gets him a snap at running back there, and it'll be 2nd and 8, 7:45 left in the first. Homestead up 7-0.
Hunter Mertz, one of the best defenders on this very good Carroll defense, but like you said, gets the snap there running back and picks up a couple yards.
2nd and 8 for Carroll on the left hash. At their own 32, 3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Ball is snapped, Becker back to throw on 2nd down under pressure, rolls out right side, escapes a sack, throws it downfield, caught, past midfield. A first down and then some. Not sure who that was who caught it. And that was Mason Engler, the slot receiver coming up with the grab. Carroll with it at the Homestead 47.
That's the biggest play of Carroll by far this game. A good start to get the offense going.
1st and 10 at the Spartan 47. 2 receivers out right. Handoff of the middle. No, Becker keeps himself, but he's tripped up after the line of scrimmage. Just a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Carroll, they like to hurry up and get to the line.
Yeah, they like to play with a little bit of tempo, and the Homestead defense needs to not give up big plays like they did a couple of plays ago, that big pass play for Carroll.
2nd and 8 for Carroll. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Fake handoff to Harris up the middle. Becker back to the throw. Throws it right side. Caught by the tight end, Bransfield. And he'll be dropped by Nick Martin after a gain of about 1. 3rd and 7 for the Chargers. 6:40 left in the first. Spartans up 7-0.
This is a huge play for the Carroll offense. You'd have to wonder if it's maybe 4-down territory. I don't know if they're going to punt it if they don't get it here, but the offense had a big play a little bit ago. Let's see if they can have another big play. Jeffrey Becker has looked pretty decent on this drive, passing the ball. Had a few roughing completions in the first drive, but looking better.
3rd and 7 for Carroll at the Spartan 44 on the right hash. 3 receivers out left. Becker back to throw on 3rd down. Steps up, throws it downfield. Too high for Bowden Height, incomplete. Would have been good for a first down, but Becker couldn't connect with his receiver. That'll set up a 4th and 7. It looks like Carroll's punt team will head onto the field.
Yeah, so outside of that one big play by the Carroll offense, the Homestead defense did their job, and Carroll, 2 drives, not able to get anything going. I mean, there's always a possibility of a fake here, but probably unlikely.
Horton will be back to punt inside his own 45. Archbold to return just inside his 20. Homestead's defense coming up with a big stop. But low snap. Horton's punt is up. It'll bounce inside the 15 and be caught and downed by Carroll. Homestead starts around their own 12 or 13.
Punt is down.
Yeah, Homestead was about midfield their last offensive drive. Not the greatest field position right now, but the offense looked pretty good on that first drive. The running game looked good. Jake Archbold with a 20-yard rushing touchdown. Luke Goody, a few completions on that previous drive, and Homestead looking like by far the better team in this one.
Homestead starts at their own 14 with 6:03 left in the first. They lead 7-0. Burris still out there at running back Homestead near the right hash to start. 3 receivers out left, 1 out right, 1st and 10. Goody in shotgun formation with Burris, the running back. Homestead up 7-0 on the Archwell 20-yard Wildcat touchdown run. Goody awaits the snap. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burris. He runs it to the outside, tries to bounce it, can't get a block, and he'll be dropped in the backfield for a loss.
Number 7, Tyler Burris, the ball
That loss about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12 for Homestead.
Yeah, rare loss of yardage
down and 12.
in this game for the Homestead Spartans. First tackle for a loss, I believe, by the Carroll defense. And now there's a huge couple downs right here for the Carroll defense. So they can make a stop, make Homestead punt the ball right back. They might have some decent field position, but Homestead, they've proven they can make up a lot of yards in a short amount of time this season.
2nd and 12 for Homestead, their own 12 on the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Tight end left side, Goody in the backfield with Burris back to throw on 2nd down. Looks downfield, takes a deep shot for Rogers. 50-50 ball, intercepted by Carroll at midfield.
And it looked like Rogers had a piece of it. I guess the Carroll defender just able to rip it out of his hand. That's Luke Goody's only 2nd interception in the season.
Carroll gets a big defensive takeaway. Luke Goody, an uncharacteristic turnover, as he just threw a 50-50 ball.
Carroll
and it was Carroll
from the 50-yard
who comes
line.
away with the takeover. They'll start at midfield. 1st and 10, Carroll at midfield on the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker fakes a handoff on 1st down, takes a deep shot. Too high for Bransfield, incomplete. 5:09 left in the first. Spartans up 7-0.
So the Carroll defense did their job. They forced a turnover, a takeaway. Now it's on the Carroll offense to put up some points, capitalize off that turnover, and the Homestead defense to prevent Carroll from scoring after the Homestead offense turned the ball over.
2nd and 10 for Carroll at midfield on the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snapped. Becker will hand out to Harris. Left side gets to the outside edge, and you'll be dropped after a gain of about 2. It'll be 3rd down and about 8 for Carroll, so the Homestead defense a chance to get another crucial stop with 4:55 left in the first. 7-0.
Looks like someone's down for Homestead on the defensive end.
Looks like Cam Rogers. That's not good.
That is not good.
Cam Rogers, obviously the star of the Homestead defense. Has 77 tackles on the year, also a big slot receiver for the Spartans. He's still down.
And we know he's playing through pretty much the entire season with a wrist injury. He's playing through the pain every week and might have just got hit the wrong spot that play. Not quite sure what happened.
Hopefully he's all right. This would be a huge loss for Homestead.
Yeah, Carroll in a 3rd and long situation in this play. It'd be huge for the Homestead defense to get a stop.
Rogers will walk off the field without really any help. It's 3rd and 7 for Carroll at the Spartan 47. 4:55 left in the first quarter. Homestead up 7-0. Carroll has it on the left hash. As Rogers exits the game. Homestead defense looking to get a big stop in his absence. 3 receivers to the right, 1 out, or tight end out left. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snapped. Becker back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Under pressure. Takes a deep shot. Looking for Mitchell. 50-50 ball. Deflected. Incomplete. Archwood almost came away with a pick, but instead it'll be 4th and 7 for Carroll as they punt at the Homestead 47.
And Trey Hurst was the one that came in and replaced Cam Rogers. He was the one that put pressure on Jeffrey Becker and hit him right as he was throwing the ball. So a good job by Trey Hurst coming in for Cam Rogers and making a huge play. And Carroll, they're going to have to punt again.
Hurst does have a sack on the year. Couple tackles for loss. Ball is snapped. Horton's punt is up. Archwold will let it bounce inside the 10. Roll towards the end zone, but Carroll will down it. As Homestead will start at their own 4.
So aside from that first drive where Homestead had it near midfield, 2 drives with not very good field position, and if Homestead's going to score in this play, they're going to have to go about 99 yards from this drive.
Without Rogers, Sam Scavo now filling that roll at slot as Homestead starts at their own 4. 4:31 left in the first. Homestead up 7-0. Bad field position for the Spartans as they line up on the right hash. 1st and 10, 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Tight end left side, Goody in the backfield. Burton now in at running back. Ball is snapped. Handoff to Burton up the middle. Gets to the outside past the 10. Gets upfield, 15. Jukes a man. He'll be pulled down past the 20. Great run by Ryan Burton of over 20 or close to 20 yards to get Homestead out the back of their own end zone.
I was just going to say, Carroll does not have a safety on the season. The defense has not forced a safety, and it doesn't look like they're going to, at least on this drive. Ryan Burton, a great run, his first run in the game.
Homestead now with their own 22, 1st and 10, up 7-0, 4:10 left in the first. On the right hash, 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Tight end left side, he'll motion to the right now. Goody in the backfield with the running back, Burton. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton up the middle. Nothing going there. He'll be dropped immediately. Got back maybe to line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Homestead relying, it appears, on the run game quite a bit in this one. Lou Goody obviously coming off an interception on the previous drive. You know how good of a passer he is, over 2,400 passing yards on the season, only 2 interceptions to 25 passing touchdowns.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for Homestead at their own 22. Still lined up along the right hash. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right, and the tight end right side. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Homestead up 7-0, 3:25 left in the first. Goody fakes a handoff back to throw on 2nd down. Looks downfield, can't find anyone. He's tugged down and dives forward back to the line of scrimmage.
Goody on the
didn't lose anything, didn't really get anything either. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Spartans.
Yeah, now if you're Homestead, you just want to
close to the line of
not afford a big loss on a play right here. You're already kind of close to your own end zone and your own 22-yard line. You just don't want to lose yards right here in the situation.
3rd and 10 for Homestead at their own 22. 2:50 left in the first. 7-0 Spartans. On the right hash, 2 receivers out left, 1 out right, a tight end right side. Goody back to throw on 3rd down. Across the middle, caught by Little. He hauls it in for the 1st down. Every time Homestead needs that big catch, it seems Griffin Little comes up clutch. That one goes for 12, and Homestead keeps the chains moving as they now have it at their own 34.
Yeah, Homestead started on their own 1-yard line. Started this drive, like I said, now on their own 34.
1st and 10 for Homestead at their own 34. 2:30 left in the first. They lead 7-0. 2 receivers either side as they're lined up in the middle of the field. Goody in the backfield with Burton, 1st and 10. Homestead started at their own 4. And right now, at worst, they're playing the field position game as they lead 7-0. Ball is snapped. Goody hands it off to Burton. Nothing going. He cuts it out past out left side. He's taken down and a flag is thrown. So this could be moving Homestead back.
On the play as well.
Yeah, I talked about in the pregame.
Holding call
the team that
Homestead
commits the fewest penalties is probably going to win this one.
Holding call. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot, so it'll be 1st down.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
And about 20 for the Spartans.
Homestead will replay 1st down.
Yeah, Homestead still very powerful offense. Still could easily make up this 1st and very long.
It'll be 1st and 20 for Homestead. 2:10 left in the first. They lead 7-0.
2nd down and 21.
Looks like Nate
for
Anderson
Homestead.
runs out onto the field now at wide receiver for the Spartans.
As Burton heads out, empty backfield now. Homestead with it at the middle of the field. 2 receivers either side. Tight end to the right. 1st and 20. Homestead in a passing situation now with 2 minutes left in the first. They lead 7-0. Empty backfield. Goody back to throw on 1st and 20 under pressure. Rolls out right side, steps up in the pocket. Another flag thrown. He runs it left side. Avoids a man, but he'll be pulled down
Goody
after a gain of a couple.
Keeps it as the ball carrier.
But this could very well be a hold.
There's another
and more
flag
negative
on the
yardage
play.
for the Spartans.
Yeah, it looks like that's what it is. Homestead
Holding called on
got up
Homestead.
to their own 34, started on the 1, but going back further towards their own end zone.
It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Another penalty. And it'll be 1st and
Well,
about
once
30
again,
for the
replay
Spartans.
1st down.
I mentioned a few minutes ago, Carroll does not have a defensive safety this season. That comes into play now as Homestead move back about, 30 or 25 yards compared to where they were.
Homestead started at their own 4, got it to their own 34, and now they're back at about their own 8.
Penalty was half the
That's what
distance to the
penalties
goal
can do to
line.
you. This was half the distance to the goal line. 1:45 left in the first. Homestead up 7-0. First
down
forever.
and 36 for
36.
Homestead.
Two receivers either side. Tight end to the right. Empty backfield. As they have it at their 8. Carroll defense better not give up a first down here. That'd be disastrous. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw. Just in front of his own end zone. Takes a deep shot for Archbold downfield. 50-50 ball. He got it. Jake Archbold rolls it in around the first down marker. I think that'll be enough for a first down. What a pass. What a catch by Jake Archbold. The Spartans miraculously keep the chains moving.
Wow. You just said Carroll's defense cannot give up a first down. That's exactly what they do. Jake Archbold, one of the best receivers in the conference, he has the 6th longest reception for 63 yards in the SAC this season. A big one right there to move the chains for the Spartans.
1st and 10 for Homestead at their own 46. Two receivers either side. Ball in the left hash. Archbold in motion. He gets it. Runs out right side. Cuts up field. He's hit after a couple yards and taken down. It'll be a gain of 3 on first down. 2nd and 7 for the Spartans. 55 seconds left in the first. Homestead up 7-0.
Still, it's been kind of a crazy sequence from where the Spartans started to where they got to, and they went back, and then that huge play. So right about midfield now.
Burren heads off the field once again, so maybe another empty set here for the Spartans. Or actually, there might be Tyler Burris in the game. Not sure. But 2nd and 8 for Homestead at their own 48. They'll go to an empty backfield once again. Two receivers either side. Little lined up at tight end left side. Ball near the right hash. Goody back to throw. It's a screen pass. Incomplete. A flag is thrown.
Goody's pass is incomplete.
We'll have to see what that is.
A flag came
Homestead
in
already
after
2
the
holding penalties on this drive alone. Let's see what this is.
We'll have to see what this penalty is. If the play stands, it'll be 3rd and 8 for Homestead.
I'd be fine. The referees call this one against Carroll.
And they'll pick up the flag. I think they may have initially called an intentional grounding, but there was a receiver right there. So it'll be 3rd and 8 for Homestead. At their own 48, the Carroll defense in need of a big stop after Homestead miraculously got the first down on 1st and 36. 18 seconds left in the first quarter. Homestead up 7-0. They've controlled possession time as Burton heads back onto the field. Homestead lines up with two receivers either side. Ball near the right hash. Goody in the backfield with Burton. It's 3rd down. And the officials will blow the whistle. I think have an issue with the chains, perhaps.
It's a huge play for the Homestead offense. Right here, can they pick up the first down? They've completely dominated this game, although only up 7-0. Carroll hasn't really done much at all on offense.
And this play may be even bigger for the Carroll defense. 3rd and 8, Homestead at their own 48. Ball a couple yards from the right hash. Two receivers either side. Goody in shotgun formation with the running back Burton. Big play here for the Homestead offense. Goody rolls out left side. Looking downfield, avoids a sack, and he's taken down in the backfield for a huge loss.
Goody is sacked in the backfield.
Carroll got back there. I believe that was Tucker Steely and Larry Seibel who brought him down, and it'll be 4th down and quite a ways for Homestead as Goody will punt.
At the end of the first quarter, it's Homestead.
The time will run out with the
Carroll
first quarter
0.
with Homestead leading 7-0. We'll take a quick break, but be back for the second quarter of action.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins. You can contact Moe's by dialing 969 Moe's, or for catering, that number is 969 Eats. Moe's specializes in Southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at Moe's.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football, right here on the Point 91 FM.
back to Homestead High School. We're about to get set with the second quarter of action. Homestead set to punt on 4th and 17 at their own 39. Goody to punt it away to Carroll. So they have a man back deep to return. Homestead in need of a good punt. They lead 7-0 at the start of the second. Looked like some movement, so this can move Homestead back even more.
Thought maybe it would have gone against Carroll, though. Not quite sure.
We'll see what the call is. Maybe Carroll jumped off sides, and they did. That's the call, so 5 more yards for Homestead.
Offsides called on
Still
Carroll.
not in the range of
5-yard
going for
penalty.
it. It's 4th and 12. This will help with field
Where's the
position,
4th and
certainly.
12?
Carroll's man back to return just in front of his own 25. As Goody set to punt it away. Waiting the snap. Ball is snapped. Goody's punt is up. A bit of a short one. It'll bounce inside the 35. Take a Homestead bounce
Goody's
inside the
punt
30.
goes out of bounds at
And
the
that's where Carroll
28-yard
will set up
line, and that's
at their
where
own
Carroll will
28.
take over first down
Yeah, so
and
Homestead
10.
not able to do much on that drive. Didn't start with the greatest
Score update
field
from
position,
the
but still able to punt it away. And Carroll, not the greatest field position, but definitely manageable. And let's see what this Carroll offense is able to do now. It feels like Homestead completely dominated that first quarter on both sides of the ball, but still only up 7-0.
Cam Rogers back into the game for Homestead. Left the last drive with an injury. He's back out there. 1st and 10, Carroll at their own 28. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Handoff to Harris up the middle. Nothing going there. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 1 or 2. And it'll be 2nd and 8 for Carroll. 11:45 left in the second. Spartans up 7-0.
Yeah, and so far,
Picks up about 2 yards
on the
on
first
play.
quarter, and a play reminds me of when these teams met in Week 7 of the regular season. The first half, it was low-scoring 14-12, and right now, low-scoring. Homestead only scored on a Jake Archibald 20-yard run, but outside of that, neither team has had too many big plays.
2nd and 8 for Carroll. Ball at midfield. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball is snapped. Becker fakes a handoff, keeps himself. He'll roll out right side, past the right tackle, gets upfield, pushed out of bounds around the
Jeffrey
first down
Becker, the
marker.
ball carrier.
As Jeffrey Becker, I think, was a little short
He
of the
stepped out
first
of
down.
bounds, just short of
And it'll
the
be
first
3rd
down
and 1
markers.
for the Chargers. 11:30 left in
Third
the
down
first
and
or
very
second.
short.
Yeah, this is a Carroll team that's 4th in rushing yards per game, 143.9 in the SAC compared to Homestead, who's 2nd, 187 rushing yards per game. But pretty much all those yards go to Jeffrey Becker, pretty much the only true runner that Carroll has on the offensive end.
3rd and 1 for Carroll. 11:30 left in the second quarter. They trail 7-0. Ball on the right hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Ball is snapped. Becker keeps himself up the middle, hit and taken down. Got awfully close to the first down marker. We'll see what the spot is. It looks like they'll probably give it to him.
Yeah, you definitely think they're probably going to give him the generous spot, give him the first down.
And they will, as Jeffrey Becker keeps the chains moving with his legs. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Chargers. 11:13 left in the first quarter, or second quarter. Homestead up 7-0.
Let's see what Carroll's able to continue to do outside of a few Jeffrey Becker runs. Hasn't been the most accurate in this one compared to last week when he counted for, 6 touchdowns?
As Cam Riders heads back off the field again. 1st and 10, Carroll at their own 39. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker back to throw on first down. Throws a deep downfield, caught by Mitchell inside the Homestead 45, pushed out of bounds shy of the 40.
And Leighton Mitchell was one of the top receivers in the SAC during the regular season. Very talented player, probably the best receiver that this Carroll team has.
1st and 10 for Carroll at the Homestead 42. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right, tight end left side, ball in the right hash. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Or actually,
timeout called by Homestead.
And timeout called by Homestead as they'll talk things over.
Looks like Trey Hurst was sprinting off the field, but a timeout's called by the Spartans.
5A, it's Dwenger 7, Northrop 0 in the middle of the
Dwenger
second
up
quarter.
7-0 over Northrop right now. Carroll with a 1st and 10 at Homestead 42. You have to like the way the defense is playing for Homestead in this one. Maybe you want the offense to get going a little more.
Yeah, the offense outside of really that first drive when they haven't really done too much, haven't really gotten in great scoring position. They've had some pretty bad field position thanks to a few good Carroll punts. But outside of that, neither team really able to do much on the offensive end. I expect this one to probably be a low-scoring battle the rest of the game.
It'll be 1st and 10. Carroll at the Homestead 42, coming out of the timeout, 11:05 left in the second quarter. Spartans leading this one 7-0. Chargers line up with two receivers out left, one out right, a tight end left side. Becker in the backfield. The running back, tight end motions to the right, ball is snapped. Fake handoff, Becker rolls out right side, throws it downfield too high for Mitchell, incomplete. He had him wide open along the right sideline, but it'll be 2nd and 10 now for Carroll.
Becker's passing.
Yeah, that would have definitely been first down if Becker was a little bit more accurate. Just threw it a little bit too high for his best receiver, Leighton Mitchell, the 6 foot, 175-pound senior. 10 receiving touchdowns in the season.
2nd and 10 for Carroll. Two receivers out left, one out right. Tight end motions to the right side. Ball is snapped. Becker hands it off to Lazoff, right side out. Past the tackle, and he's pulled down by Donovan Leonard. After a couple yards, it'll be 3rd and 8 for Carroll, and the Homestead defense now looking to get a big stop.
Looks like Trey Hurst runs back onto the field. A big play a few drives ago for this Homestead defense. Yeah, another big play for the Spartan defense.
3rd and 8 for Carroll at the Spartan 40, 10:35 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 7-0. Two receivers out left, one out right. Tight end motions right side for Carroll. Ball on the right hash. Becker in the backfield with Lazoff. Ball is snapped. Becker will throw across the middle too high for Bransfield. Incomplete, looking for the tight end. It'll be 4th and 8 for Carroll. We'll see if they go for it here, or we see the punt team come on, and that looks like what's going to happen as Homestead will get the ball back.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it, although Carroll on the Homestead 40, so the Spartans probably not going to get the greatest field position once again, and that's probably been the one thing Carroll's been good at this game, is giving Homestead bad field position.
Horton to punt around his own 45. Archwell back to return inside the 5. Ball is snapped. The kick is up. It's not a booming kick, but it'll bounce around the 10 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So Homestead will take over at their own 20. 10-16 left in the second quarter. Spartans up 7-0.
Aside from a punt return for a touchdown, it's probably the best case scenario right there for the Spartan offense. Bounces into the end zone rather than being stuck inside your own 5-yard line. Once again, this Spartan offense finally some decent field position and a chance to attack and try to put up some more points. Already up 7-0.
Homestead heads out there on offense, up 7-0. Luke Goody looks to move his team down the field. Ryan Burton back into the game at running back for Homestead. They start at midfield at their own 20. 1st and 10. Two receivers out right, one out left. Rogers up at the wingback right side. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Goody hands off to Burton up the middle on 1st down past the 25. Pulled down after a gain of about 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 for Homestead.
And Ryan Burton did not get this started running back, but still has
2nd down and 3.
5 rushing touchdowns on the season for over 250 rushing yards after not really getting a snap in the first 7 games of the season at running back.
2nd and 3 for Homestead, 9:50 left in the second. They lead 7-0. Ball in the middle of the field. Ball is snapped, handoff to Burton. He bounced out past the left tackle, gets upfield past the 30, breaks it. Oh, he's pulled down close to the 35. A first down. As Homestead has it about their own 34 35.
Good for a Homestead first down.
Yeah, another good first down for the Spartan team. They looked very solid in the running game earlier on in this one.
1st and 10 for Homestead at about their own 34 on the left hash. They lead 7-0, 9:30 left in the second. Receiver either side, tight end to the right. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Hand off to him on 1st down. Gets to the middle, 40. Pushes forward past the 1st down marker, and he's taken down just shy of the midfield logo.
12-yard
great
for another Homestead first
run
down.
by the Homestead offense right there, making this Carroll defense not look too great right now, even though Carroll did give up quite a few points to Snyder last week. Still a pretty good defense in the area.
9:15 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 7-0. They have it at their own 46. A 1st and 10. Ball near midfield. They line up with the receiver either side. Tight ends to the left, and Rogers up at the wingback left side. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton again on 1st down. Nothing going there as he gets about 2 yards. Made a man miss in the backfield, but positive yardage at least.
3-yard pickup there. 2nd down.
Yeah, definitely some positive yardage for Burton right there. It looks like Burth comes into the game now. It looks like those two have been kind of rotating in and out every few drives or so for this Homestead offense.
8:35 left in the second. Spartans up 7-0. Ball at their own 49, 2nd and 7. Ball at midfield. Two receivers out left, one out right. Rogers up at the wingback. Goody in shotgun formation with Burris. Receiver motions from the slot. Handoff to Burris up the middle. Pushes forward for a few yards. Will be pulled down.
Number 7,
about 3
Tyler
yards shy
Burris
of the first down mark. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Homestead.
Yeah, that was Matthew Ottenweller on the tackle right there, the 6 foot, 180-pound senior. 53 tackles on the season. Had a big one right there on Tyler Burris, the Homestead running back.
3rd and 3 for Homestead. At the Carroll 47, 8 minutes left in the second. Homestead up 7-0. And it looks like they'll line up in Wildcat formation with Archwood at quarterback once again. Goody at wide receiver. To the right, Kistler out left. Ball is snapped. Archbold keeps himself up the middle. Cuts outside past the 40, and he trips up and falls. Good for a first down, however. This Wildcat formation, a bit of a wrinkle that Homestead has used to perfection in this game.
Yeah, I really didn't see that pretty much the entire season with Archbold taking snaps to the Wildcat. We've seen it already twice in this game. One of those going for a rushing touchdown. Not able to pick up too much right there, but still a decent play for the Homestead offense by Archbold.
1st and 10 for Homestead at the Carroll 39. Up 7-0. Archbold still in Wildcat formation. 2 receivers out left, one of them Goody. Rogers up at the wingback to the right. Ball near the right hash. 1st and 10. Ball is snapped. Archbold rolls out right side, gets upfield 35, past the 30, 25, pulled down. Shy of the 20, another first down. As Jake Archbold has looked explosive out of the Wildcat.
Yeah, run that every single play. He's getting first downs left and right, I believe, every single time. He's got it. He's picked up quite a few yards. Like I said, Goody lined up at wide receiver. Don't ever see that this season.
7 minutes left in the second quarter. Homestead up 7-0 as Goody moves back to quarterback. Archbold now in the slot left side. 2 receivers out left. 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burn. 1st and 10 at the Carroll 22. Handoff to Burn up the middle. Gets downfield to the 15, down to the 10. Another first down on the ground for the Spartans. They pounded the Chargers on the ground this drive.
Yeah, Homestead only 75 rushing yards last week. Well over that already in this game. They've looked incredibly dominant in the run game against a very good Carroll run defense.
1st and goal for Homestead at the 10. 6:35 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 7-0, knocking on the door once again. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball in the right hash. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton up the middle. Not much there, but he still pushes forward for a solid 2 or 3 yards.
Burton on the carry.
It'll be 2nd and goal from about the 8.
Yeah, these are the type of situations where if you're the Homestead offense, you got to put up some points. Even a field goal is good. Obviously, you want to score a touchdown, but when they played Carroll earlier on in the season, they were in 2 similar situations to this, and they did not put up any points inside the opponent 10-yard line. 2 fumbles cost them a chance at having a bigger win against Carroll. So if you're Homestead, you just got to capitalize on the opportunity you have right now. Some of the greatest field position that you've had the entire game.
2nd and goal from the 8 on the right hash. 5:50 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 7-0. Wildcat once again. Goody out right. Archbold in at quarterback with Burton the running back. He'll run left side, then cut it up middle. Taken down inside the 5. Archbold, another run. This one not as big, but it'll still be 3rd and goal for Homestead at the 3.
It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, another kind of trick play. Wildcat. Archbold taking the snap. Like I said before this game, haven't seen that in Homestead's playbook the entire season, so trying something new.
Big 3rd and goal here for the Spartans on the right hash at the 3. 2 receivers either side. Goody in the backfield with Burton. 5:10 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 7-0. Looking to extend that lead over the rival Carroll Chargers. Both teams looking to punch a ticket to regionals this game. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw. Under pressure. Throws it right side. Deflected. Incomplete. And it sets up a big 4th and goal decision. As Homestead has the option to go for it or send the field goal unit out there.
I think you kick the field goal right here. You need the points. You can't come up empty-handed. I mean, even though you are 3 yards away from the end zone, you got to put up some points right here. And Gunnar Fry talked to him. He was confident heading into last week against Noblesville. He had some very high-pressure kicks that he had to knock down, and he did. And it's pretty much automatic from him. The only ones that he's missed are ones that have been blocked.
Gunnar Fry, 5 of 7 on the year. On field goals, 20-yarder here. Hit the game winner against Noblesville. On the right hash, ball is snapped. Field goal up, and it's good. Homestead takes a 10-0 lead with 4:50 left in the first. That's where you got to have a good kicker, and Gunnar Fry is one.
Yeah, I thought he was worthy of first team All-SAC. Obviously, the he was second team all SAC, but the first team all SAC was going to Carroll's kicker. Really could have switched them. It didn't really matter, but I think that's a smart decision right there to kick the field goal, take the points. Even though you were so close to the end zone, you're still up 10-0. It's a 2-possession game rather than just a 1-possession game.
And in this game, Homestead's defense has been shut out. You can rely on them to get you a stop.
Yeah, the defense looked incredible. One of the major differences between this game and the last time that Homestead played Carroll was they were able to drive the ball down the field pretty much every single time they had it, but just the defense stepped up in the red zone. But now the defense has stepped up anywhere on the field. The defense has looked spectacular and probably one of their best games of the season. I guess it's only been about a quarter and a half or so, but the defense has looked very good for Homestead.
Homestead up 10-0 now with 4:50 left in the second quarter. Gunner Fry field goal gave them the lead. They marched down the field on the ground. Utilized Archibald out of the Wildcat a lot. 3 back to return the kick for Carroll. Homestead with a 10-0 lead. Pitching a shutout in this one so far. The defense looking to get another stop before half. Homestead did defer to the second half, so if they are able to keep Carroll off the scoreboard for the remainder of the half, that'll be big. Fry's kick is off. Bit of a short one. It'll be fielded just inside the 20 by Volmer. He bounces out past the right hash, cuts up past the 25, and he'll be taken down just shy of the 35. Good field position for Carroll as they take over on offense.
Kickoff return
Carroll
for
yet
Carroll.
another chance to put up some points. 4:44. That's more than enough time to score.
Tackled around the 34-yard
if you're Carroll,
line,
you
that's where Carroll
don't want to
takes
give Homestead
over.
the ball back
First
again,
down
like
and
you
10.
said. Homestead to get the ball to start the second half. So if you're the Chargers, run the clock down as far as you can and try to score some points before the end of the half.
First and 10 for Carroll as they start off at their own 34. 4:44 left in the second. Homestead up 10-0. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left, tight end left side. Becker back to throw on first down. Those left sideline incomplete, looking for Engler. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Becker's pass
Let's see if this Homestead defense can continue to play well. Heading into halftime, maybe force a 3-and-out right here. Just make a big play, give the Homestead offense another chance to extend their lead.
2nd and 10. Becker hands it off out the left side. Delays off, gets upfield, spins around. He's pulled down shy of the 40 at about the 39.
On the carry.
It'll be 3rd and 5
third down and
for
6.
the Chargers.
Huge play for the Homestead defense. Another important third down the defense needs to
got
make a
3rd down
stop
and 5
on.
coming up for Carroll.
Be a big play if the Spartans can force another 3-and-out for Carroll.
Big third down for both teams. It's 3rd and 5. Carroll at their own 39 on the left hash. 3 receivers out right. Becker in the backfield with Lazoff. Ball is snapped. Rolls out right side on 3rd down. Looks downfield for Engler. Right sideline. Was he caught? Did he catch that? They'll rule it incomplete. It would have been inside the Homestead
Becker's
35, but Becker
incomplete.
his pass to Engler
Fourth
just
down and 5.
incomplete. And it'll be 4th and 5. Homestead will get it back with 4:05 left in the second quarter.
Okay, now if you're Homestead, you want to run the clock down all the way. Don't give Carroll the ball. Even though their offense hasn't done much, you don't want to give them a chance at all. Preferably, you want there to be 0 seconds left in remaining in this half. We saw Snyder, when Homestead played them in the regular season, there were about, 27 or 28 seconds left. Homestead just scored, I believe, and Snyder a few big plays, and they were able to score a touchdown. So if you're Homestead, you really want to limit the time.
Ball is snapped. Horton's punt is away to Archibald. It's a bit of a short one. He'll fair catch it inside his 35. And Homestead will start at their own 34.
With the fair catch right at the 34-yard line.
3:58 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 10-0,
10. looking
to get some points before half. They do get it to start the second half. So if you're the Spartans right here, you get some points, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, still only up 10-0, and they've completely dominated this game. Just there haven't really been too many possessions. Teams holding on the ball quite a bit, a lot of running plays from both sides. Carroll does still have 3 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock 3 times if they need to, get the ball back maybe.
1st and 10, Homestead their own 34 on the right hash. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Faking it up to Burton. Screen pass out to Rogers. Left side pass to left hash out the 40-50. Flag is thrown as Rogers gets inside the Carroll 50, but this might be coming back.
But there is a
yeah, it looks like it's going to be holding on Brady Parker, offensive lineman for the Spartans.
And it was a big play, and it looks like the hold wouldn't have even, or I think an illegal man downfield on Homestead.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Yeah, another silly penalty the Spartans have had. They had a ton last week against Noblesville. Carroll had a lot of penalties last week against Snyder. Still pulled out the win, but Homestead. so many penalties, and I believe Carroll has only had a few.
3:50 left in the second quarter. Homestead up
5-yard
10-0. A
penalty.
5-yard
First
penalty
down.
erases a big play to Rogers, and Homestead now with it at their own 29. Penalties really been the one blight on this Homestead performance. They have it on the right hash. 1st and 15. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Rogers in that wingback left side. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton up the middle. Gets downfield past the 35. Taken down a couple yards past the original line of scrimmage as Homestead will have a 2nd and 7.
And if you're the Homestead offense right now, you run the play clock. Play clock as far down as you possibly can. You don't want to give Carroll any time. If you do have to give the ball back to them, and like you said, it'd be good if Homestead can maybe put up some more points before halftime. They will get the ball to start the second half.
3:10 left for Homestead in this first half of 10-0, 2nd and 7 at their own 37. Ball is snapped. Another handoff to Burton left side. Gets past the 40 and he's flipped down. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Spartans. 3 minutes left in the second. Homestead up 10-0.
And this is a big play for the Carroll defense. They haven't really made too many stops this game, and this would be a huge stop for the Charger defense if they're able to limit Homestead and not let them get a first down.
2:45 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 10-0. And it looks like once again we will see a Wildcat formation as Goody out at wide receiver right side. Receiver either side, Archbold in shotgun formation with Burton. Ball is snapped. Archbold makes a handoff, keeps himself up the middle, pushes forward, and looks like he's taken down around the first down marker. Looks like he got just enough.
That was close.
Picks up 3 yards and good enough for a Homestead first down.
Homestead keeps the chains moving as they have it at their own 44. 2:21 left in the second quarter. Homestead up 10-0.
Huge play right there. Archbold just got the first down by a few inches, but that's all it takes in Homestead, another first down.
Goody back at quarterback. 1st and 10 for Homestead. Ball to the middle of the field. Receiver either side. Hands it off to Burton. He runs out past the right tackle. Makes a cut up field. Nothing really going there. And it'll be stuffed after a gain of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Homestead at their own 47.
Forward progress gets him about 3 yards.
Time still running down, but the Spartans have 2 timeouts themselves. So time not really an issue for Homestead, but if you're Carroll, you may want to start thinking about using those timeouts maybe.
Homestead does get the ball to start the second half. 1:45 left in the second quarter. Spartans up 10-0. 2nd and 7 at their own 47. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball in the right hash. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Handoff to Burton up the middle. Gets inside the Carroll 45 past the first down marker before he's pulled down by several defenders. Homestead keeps the chains moving once again, and Homestead has it in Carroll territory.
Yeah, Homestead continuing to move the ball down the field. Have looked a lot better in the second quarter.
1:27 on the clock. Homestead up 10-0. And we're going to see the Wildcat once again. Time is running down if Homestead wants some points. 2 receivers out left. Tight end wingback right side. Archbold in shotgun formation with Burton. 1:10 left in the second quarter. Ball is snapped. Archbold rolls out right side. Looks to pass. He throws it downfield. Underthrown to Rogers, but he comes back and gets it. And Homestead has it at the Carroll 15.
What's crazy about that play is if the Carroll defenders had any sense around them, that would have been picked off. There were about 3 Carroll defenders right around that pass. Archbold was a little bit underthrown, but Rogers able to make the great play, and the completion for Homestead, they get closer and closer to the end zone.
And so the Wildcat baited the Carroll defense as Archbold eventually used the arm he used last year. 1st and 10 at the Carroll 16. Homestead hands off to Burton up the middle, rumbling down inside the 10. And it'll be 2nd and 2 for the Spartans, 45 seconds on the clock as Homestead will burn a timeout. And this drive has gone as planned for the Spartans. All they got to do is now just convert and get points on the board as they lead 10-0 with 45 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, even though they are looking great, I'd say even a field goal is good. You just don't want to come up empty-handed, even though I know they've had 2 really good drives, though. Last one, they were on the 3-yard line. It was 4th and goal, decided to kick the field goal. I think that was a smart decision to take the points rather than gamble and maybe not score any points after that great position they were in. But if you're Homestead, they're already probably in field goal range right now. Maybe take a few shots at the end zone. Run the clock down a little bit. You don't want to give Carroll any chance. You don't want Carroll to have any time at all remaining, because we know how Becker, he's a very talented runner, could break away from the defense, maybe even a big kick return. But yeah, if you're Homestead, you just want to put some points up on the board, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown.
And Homestead with that wildcat with Jake Archibald. Since he played quarterback last year, I think he knew eventually he was going to take a shot downfield.
Yeah, that's still kind of a crazy play. The Carroll coaches got to be really angry about that one. That probably should have been picked off, but the Carroll defenders didn't turn around, and Rogers made a great play on the ball, and a lot of credit to him, his awareness.
2nd and 3 for Homestead. 45 seconds left in the second. They lead 10-0. They have it at the Carroll 9. 2 receivers to the right, 1 out left. Ball a couple yards from the right hash. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw on 2nd down. Throws it right side. Caught in the end zone by Jake Archibald for a touchdown. Jake Archibald's been doing it all this game, and he scores his 2nd touchdown. The first one on the ground. This one through the air. A 9-yard passing touchdown from Luke Goody to Jake Archibald. That was Goody's 26th touchdown pass on the season, and Homestead takes a 16-0 lead with 40.8 seconds left in the second quarter.
And Jake Archibald, another touchdown you mentioned, had about a 20-yard rushing touchdown in the first quarter, then one right there. The only 2 touchdowns scored for the Spartans in this one. A great play. Like I said, Archibald, quite a few snaps in the Wildcat formation, but catches it from Luke Goody.
Fry on to attempt the extra point. Homestead up 17-0, getting the ball. Just started the second half. You're in great shape. Just can't give up anything big as Carroll gets it back. All this snap. Fry's extra point is up. Looks to be good. And a flag is thrown.
I think Carroll jumped a little bit too early.
Looks like an offsides. I think the kick was good, but they'll call the offsides. I think they blew it dead.
Either way, for the Spartans,
Before the snap,
it is declined.
Carroll is offsides. We'll re-kick.
It's declined, but I think we will re-kick. I don't think an offside will really do much in this situation, the penalty. So Fry will re-kick the extra point. Homestead up 16-0 with 40 seconds left in the second. Fry only missed 2 extra points this year. They were both blocked. This one is not blocked, and this one is good. Homestead with a 17-0 lead.
The PAT is
and this
good,
game has been all Homestead.
17,
We wondered
Carroll
after
0.
the last showdown between the Homestead Spartans and Carroll Chargers, we wondered the close first half was more indicative of the closeness and talent level between these two teams, or the second half where Homestead pulled away, and so far it's looked like the second half was accurate.
Yeah, it definitely does, but these are probably the most important 40.8 seconds Homestead has had the entire season, I guess, aside from that Noblesville game
last week. But
aside from last week. But Homestead, we saw them give up a big play to Snyder and even Dwanger. They got it really close when they played them to the end zone, although I believe in Jake Archibald interception prevented Dwanger from scoring. But if you're Homestead, I think maybe they could have taken a little bit more time off the clock. 40.8 seconds, a lot could happen right now. If you're the Homestead defense, I think giving up a field goal is the worst you want to give up in this situation right now. You cannot give up a touchdown.
And if you're Carroll getting it back, do you even really try anything here? Does that all depend on the return?
I think it does depend on the return, but I think they're going to go for it unless they get pinned inside their own 15-yard line or 10-yard line or something like that. I think Carroll's going to try to go for it because they know towards the end of half situations, the Homestead special teams has been known to give up quite a few big plays. It looks like it's actually not Gunner Fry on the kickoff. It looks Carter Dixon, a sophomore, looks like it's going to kick off.
Interesting decision. His kick is up a line drive, fielded by Volmer, back by his 10. He gets upfield to the 20, cuts it back across the right hash. He's taken down shy of the 30.
Volmer on the return for Carroll.
Volmer returns it. 30 seconds left on the clock for Carroll as they start at their own 27. You expect him to just take a knee here?
I really hope they do, but I don't know. Took about 10 seconds off the clock. A good job not going down. Homestead not able to bring them down, which actually helped them run some more time off the clock. But I think they are going to go for it. They want to put some points up on the board.
30 seconds left in this first half. Homestead up 17-0. It's been all Spartans in this one from start onto the finish of this half. We think Carroll lining up like they will try something here. 3 receivers to the left. Tight end right side. Ball in the right hash back here in the backfield with Lazoff. First and 10 at their own 27. Whistle blown. And a timeout called maybe.
Before the snap, timeout called by Homestead.
A timeout called by Homestead. They'll talk things over. If you're Carroll, you take a deep shot, try a trick play. What do you do?
The cold weather,
yeah.
basketball season.
I think so. I think you do try to take a deep shot right here. And if you're Homestead, the one goal, just don't give up a touchdown. A field goal, that's all right, but you just cannot give up a touchdown, make it a 10-point game. It's a 3-possession game right now, 17-0. But if you're the Homestead defense, you cannot let Carroll score a touchdown right here. That'd be a huge bad thing that happens for this Homestead team if they want to continue to stay ahead in the sectional championship game.
Homestead 17-0, 29 seconds left in the second quarter. And the Spartans, they definitely look more focused heading into this game than they did a week ago.
Yeah, you have to wonder how that was kind of a wake-up call from Noblesville last week. Homestead probably thought they would go and win that one pretty easily, even though it was on the road. But I think it was a good test for the Spartans last week to get tested.
1st and 10 for Carroll. 3 receivers out left, tight end right side, ball on the right hash. Becker back to throw, rolls out left side, looking downfield, under some pressure, reverses field, and he's sacked in the backfield by Miller and Martin.
Becker is sacked by a host of Spartans.
Looks like a couple of different defenders for Homestead got back there. As Becker's still down. Looks like maybe Mark DeLay. I initially thought it was Matt Miller, Mark DeLay, and Cam Rogers.
Big play right there. It looks like a timeout or injury timeout probably.
As Becker will walk off. It looks to be fine. We'll see if he returns. If Carroll wants a chance at winning, he probably has to. But it appears that they will go to their backup quarterback, Logan Swain.
I believe he actually did lead Carroll to a win over Concordia a few weeks ago. That was when terrible rain and neither team could really get the passing game going. And so he's played a decent amount this year.
2nd and 22, and Carroll will just let the time expire in the first half of action as Homestead heads into the break up 17-0. They will receive the kick to start the second half as Homestead is only 24 minutes away from punching their ticket to regionals and winning their first sectional since 2016 when they went back-to-back 2015 and 2016. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. You're going to get a chance to hear Carson Clymer and Ashton Hackman's look inside Homestead Athletics.
It's halftime between the Spartans and Chargers at Dave Walters Memorial Stadium. And now it's time for another episode of Inside Homestead Athletics. Each week you'll get details of all sports teams and players. Hackman.
Session with girls basketball program. But first, let's take a look around the week it was for Homestead High School's athletic teams. For teams still in postseason play through last weekend. Both cross-country teams competed at state last weekend in Terre Haute. The boys team finished off their year with a 6th place finish, their highest in school history. And the girls finished 9th, with senior Julia Dvorak placing 12th and sophomore Mia Faber coming in at 21st place. Congratulations to both programs on their successful seasons. And now here's Ashton Hackman, who recently caught up with girls basketball coach Rod Parker to talk about his career as the head coach of one of the premier programs in the state, as well as look at this year's team now that the season is officially here.
Thanks, Carson. This week on Inside Homestead Athletics, I sat down with Homestead girls basketball head coach Rod Parker to talk about the success of the basketball programs here at Homestead and the expectations for the girls team this year as they gear up for their first season game against Carmel. Around the state, many people would consider Homestead as one of the premier girls basketball programs in the state, but it wasn't always that way. Take me back 10 seasons ago. After your first 8 seasons here at Homestead, you were only 1 game over 500. What sparked the change in the culture at Homestead to make you one of the most successful teams in the state these last 10 years?
Well, you know, when you take over a program 19 years ago, hard to believe it's been that long, but there was just a lot of turmoil in the girls basketball program here at Homestead. I think they'd have 4 coaches in 5 years and just not a lot of consistency. So I think one of the big things that changed that we probably saw 10 years ago was just the consistency that we were putting into our feeder programs, our younger kids, the kids in the program. We just finally started seeing the positive outcomes of that hard work.
The success you've had here is something that any school would wish for. A state championship, another trip to Indy, regional titles, countless conference regular season and tournament championships. Are those things you thought were attainable once you took the job 18 years ago?
Yeah, when we started this whole thing at Homestead and I took things over, you have to dream big. I mean, I think if you're a true competitor as a coach or a player, you have to have high goals and you really have to work hard to get after them. So I probably go back 17 years ago and you dream of having a state championship. And at that point in time, you probably thought, wow, we're a long way away and things have to change a little bit. But as we continue on the journey and it got to a point, as you said, probably 7-8 years ago, we started to realize we had something kind of being put in place where we could compete with anybody in the state, and we've been able to kind of build that and sustain that the last decade.
How would you define the state of Homestead girls basketball as it stands today? Have you seen a change in the community in terms of support?
Healthy, I guess, is a good way. I think that the program right now is very balanced. We've got kids from all classes. It's very young. We have a lot of young kids that are coming in there and able to contribute. So I think it's balanced. I think it's healthy, and I think it's something that we're going to continue to put a good product out each and every night we play.
With all the success, do you feel pressured to make it down to state every year, or is that something you've kind of gotten used to?
Yeah, I think so. A little bit. The big thing is when you start to have success, as we've had, and you start to win, there are high expectations. And we talk about those with our team a lot because, we can go out and win a game by 10 or 12 points and do a lot of positive things. But some of the community members are like, oh, we didn't play very well, or didn't maybe, win by 25 or whatever it may be. And that can be hard on the players sometimes because they have to be very strong within themselves and within our team framework and unity because there's a lot of critics out there when you start to have success. And so it's something we have to talk about, and I think the mental component of that is probably as challenging as the physical component of it.
Most high school coaches say it is their goal to develop a youth basketball league in the district the high school is in, obviously to help mold players before they get to the high school level. Where would you say the youth league is at today compared to its first few years in existence?
Tremendously. And when I took over 18 years ago, we had an 8th grade team that we kind of worked with in the feeder program. And then next year we went to 7th and 6th, and we kept working our way down. And now we have kids, playing in 2nd and 3rd grade that we know who they are and their names and, how they're developing through the program. So it's big. I mean, kids, have an opportunity at a young age now to play. There's lots of opportunities competitively, also to work on their skills. And we kind of, as you said, have a product right now where those kids that really want to play basketball they have to work hard to be a part of something here, and they want to be a part of that. So we see kids coming in as freshmen who are pretty experienced right now in the game of basketball.
After a 25-win campaign last year, the program graduated 7 seniors from a team that lost the eventual state champion in the regional championship game. We can look at the most successful teams in the last 10 years, and the one common denominator is the senior leadership on those teams. This year, you only returned 2 seniors. Can you talk about the leadership this year, and is this a role you will have to have more to do with, or can underclassmen step up as well?
Well, we're fortunate 2 seniors we have are very good this year in the leadership category. Riley and Sydney are doing a great job. They've really embraced that opportunity to come in and be a leader. And so they're really doing a great job with it. I think our biggest right now just challenge and struggle early in the year is just having so many new faces, getting the continuity, the togetherness down, I guess, chemistry. Not necessarily off the court, because I think we're very strong there, but just on the court, just playing together and learning how each other plays so that we can be as strong as we can be as an individual unit. But that's something that's it's a process, and it's something that I really look forward to this year. I look forward to it going in, and even as we enter our first game this Saturday versus Carmel, I think we're going to be a much different team come January than we are in November, and it'll be fun to see that growth.
You've had a Miss Basketball, Indiana All-Stars, All-State players, Division I scholarship players, pretty much every individual award a player can obtain. You've seen it all, but there's something different about the level of talent sophomore Ayanna Patterson possesses. What makes her so different from any player you've ever coached?
Ayanna is a physical talent unlike anything I've seen, on the girls' side of basketball here at Homestead High School. And in fact, really in all my years coaching in high school, I've probably only seen 1 or 2 other players that kind of are on the same level athletically as Ayanna. So not only is she gifted that way, she's a hard worker and wants to be as good as she can be in the game of basketball. A great person. And I think that one of the biggest things that people don't give Ayanna credit for who don't know her is she's just a basketball player who wants to win. And I really respect that with Ayanna, that she comes in with all her great talents. And in her mind, it's not about Ayanna. It's about Homestead. It's about competing. It's about winning. And her individual talents and so on and accolades will take care of themselves.
Senior Sydney Graber has been getting significant minutes at the varsity level since her freshman year, where she even pulled down 7 rebounds in the state championship game. Quietly, she's having one of the greatest careers in Homestead history. Can you talk about Sydney's significance to the program and your expectations for her this senior season?
Sydney Graber is a very good basketball player, and Sydney Graber, came in and was able to play significant minutes on our state title team in 2017. And it's been really enjoyable to watch her grow as a player over the course of her 4 years. She's put a lot of time into the gym. She works very hard at her craft. She wants to be as good as she can be. She loves the competition and to win. So, anything and everything Sydney accomplished this year as an individual or as a team, she definitely deserves. But the nice thing about Sydney is, as I mentioned a little bit ago, when you play here at Homestead, it really is about Homestead. And what they realize is they do their job here. They may give up a few individual awards or something like that, or accolades as far as points scored, but they get the recognition, the satisfaction of winning, and ultimately that's what they're remembered for.
A lot of coaches have kids who eventually play the sport, but not many get the chance to coach them at the high level like varsity basketball. You've got to coach your daughter Madison and are already in your final year with Riley. Have you gotten a chance to reflect on how special those moments are?
Yeah, especially probably with Madison, because she's playing in college right now, so you do a little bit more reflection on that, as well. Riley's, in the heat of the moment right now with me every day. But it's been a very rewarding experience. As a parent, whenever you can be involved in what your children are doing, it's special in the avenue. But for me to be able to do it in a game such as basketball, that's been so great to our family and something that I thoroughly enjoy and they enjoy, that common thread, has been great. We've enjoyed some fabulous experiences. Obviously not only in high school basketball, which has been fantastic here at Homestead, but then also just in the whole AAU and the growing up in our feeder program in the middle schools here in Southwest Allen County, that it's just been a very rewarding experience.
The success of the girls program has nearly been matched by the boys side. In fact, outsiders look at Homestead as the basketball powerhouse in the state of Indiana. In the last 10 years, your combined 431 wins is 62 more than the second place team on that list. What do you contribute to that success, and what is it like sharing the success with the boys program on the court?
Well, that's a great stat. I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that stat. I know that Chris Johnson does a great job. I had a chance to be his assistant for a while when I first started. So, it really comes down to, I really think, consistency that we both have put together. Both are hardworking programs. We have great kids in our programs who work hard. And really the basketball team, when you watch their team, and I like to think that when you watch our team, you go out and you see talented players working together for that common cause of representing the school and then winning basketball games. And when you can get talented kids, and sometimes even maybe less talented kids, working together and working hard, then success will follow. And fortunately right now at Homestead, both programs have that in place.
Let's talk about this year now. What's one thing you think this team needs to do in order to make it as successful of a season as it can be?
The first thing that comes to mind is consistency. We talk about trademarks and little things that are very important in a program over the years. And the big thing for us this year right now is being able to consistently prepare the way we need to prepare, work as hard as we can possibly work, every day and practicing games, and be able to just do the things on a nightly basis that we're capable of doing. The fundamental component of it, the effort, the concentration, our ability to shoot the basketball consistently. And then the other thing is the growth component of it, because I really do think, as young as we are, with really only having 3 kids that played significant varsity minutes last year, that we're going to grow. And again, we're going to be more talented, I think, and better than a lot of maybe people give us credit for after losing 7 seniors.
Okay, wrapping it up here, what's the ceiling for the team this year in your opinion?
The ceiling is very high. I really do think that. I think we have a lot of unique pieces that can complement themselves. You've mentioned Ayana being, a very unique player, a very versatile player. Sydney Graber right now, I think, is one of the best seniors in the state of Indiana, and she's a very versatile basketball player. Amber Austin is coming up, I think, is one of the biggest hidden gems in the area, who would be known if she played other places other than Homestead. But she just played behind those 7 seniors, and I think she's going to blossom. And then, of course, Riley and Grace, the guard position are just hard-nosed kids, and hard-nosed, competitors go a long way in the game of basketball. So those 5, along with a lot of young kids, should make for a fun season for us.
All right, thank you, Coach. Coach Parker and the Lady Spartan basketball team face the Carmel Greyhounds at home tomorrow in their first regular season game. JV starts at noon and varsity is to follow. Now let's send it back to Carson Clymer to wrap up this week's Inside Homestead Athletics.
Thanks, Ashton. That wraps up this edition of Inside Homestead Athletics. For Ashton Hackman, I'm Carson Clymer. We'll send you back out for more of the halftime show right after this. This has been a presentation of Homestead Athletics in the Point 91 FM.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard next to Dunkin' Donuts Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by dialing 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back to Homestead High School. We're at halftime of tonight's sectional final matchup between rivals Homestead and Carroll. Homestead 17-0 right now. I'm Donnie Harmon alongside Matt Saalfrank, Braden Carroll. Continuing with the halftime show, and Matt, I believe you have a score update for us.
Yeah, not really in the SAC, but South Adams up 47-6 at half over Madison Grant. Quarterback James Arnold. Listen to these stats: 11 for 14, 353 passing yards, and 7 total touchdowns. South Adams, one of the top teams in Class 1A, putting up a show over Madison Grant.
Really not surprising. South Adams, a potential state title contender. Looking at the game at hand we have right now, 17-0 Homestead. What did the Spartans do right in that first half that got them that lead?
Yeah, we got to give the defense a lot of credit. The Spartans' defense played probably one of their most consistent and solid halves the entire season, aside from a few silly penalties. It was a pretty good game for both sides of the ball. The running game, obviously no Braden Hardwick in this one. Ryan Burton didn't get the start. It was Tyler Burris. He looked solid. Ryan Burton also looked solid in this one. Lou Goody made quite a few huge passes in that first half. There was kind of a weird formation where they put Archbold, not really quarterback, but the Wildcat formation. He would take the snaps from the center. He actually scored a rushing touchdown from 20 yards out to open the game in that Wildcat formation, and actually threw a pass. I haven't really seen him, I believe, his second pass the entire season, threw one last week, kind of a botched field goal situation. But overall, Homestead, they've looked very, very good in this one, both sides of the ball. The offense very consistent. The defense playing incredibly well, forcing quite a few 3-and-outs for Carroll. They really haven't had a good chance of even getting close to scoring at all this game so far.
From what I've seen, it's more about what Carroll hasn't done than what Homestead has done. The Carroll offense has just been off to a shaky start. They started off the game with a 3-and-out, and from there it was just downhill. They had 5 punts on 6 possessions, and that one possession that they didn't punt, well, that was just when halftime rolled around. So it's definitely not been the greatest game for that Carroll offense.
And Homestead right now, the defense shutting out Carroll. Last game, they had given up some points to the Chargers. I believe it had, 12 at half?
Yeah, 12.
So Homestead had given up 12 points, and Carroll was moving at almost every possession. The Homestead defense looked better game plan to stop the Chargers' attack.
Yeah, the adjustments that the Homestead coaching staff made from when these teams first met in Week 7 of the regular season. Obviously, Homestead still had Braden Hardwick, so the playbook probably opened a little bit different plays that could happen, that could be called. But yeah, the coaching staff's done a great job, and the players have done a great job of executing the plays. They've, like I said, aside from the penalties, pretty much a perfect half for Homestead. Only up 17-0, though. It feels like they could be up by quite a bit more, but that's good enough. I really don't think the second half will be very high scoring at all. The winner probably will still be, the winning score will probably be in the 20s, you would think. I mean, we have no Homestead does get the ball to start this second half. But yeah, Carroll, they're going to get something going on offense soon if they don't want this one to turn to even more of a blowout.
Yeah, very clearly Homestead took note on Becker after his great game last week. They've just been rattling him all night. They've been getting to the backfield. They've been bringing pressure on every one of his passes, and every time he tries to run, it seems like that defense is just surrounding him. And it's really affected his entire offense because when he's not rolling, Carroll isn't rolling.
Homestead up 17-0 at half. Going to get started shortly with the second half. Homestead gets the ball to start. the second half, up 17-0 already. How important is it for the Carroll Chargers to be able to stop Homestead from scoring a touchdown?
Yeah, I think that's the key. A field goal is probably manageable for Carroll. If they give up only a field goal, they'd probably be happy with that, or obviously no score at all. But if you give up a touchdown and you're down 24-0, that may be too huge for this Carroll offense to come back. I know they put up, 42 points against a weak Snyder defense this season. They're down from a little bit from the previous season when, I guess, Homestead, they put up, 35 on them in the sectional championship game. But I guess speaking of that, Homestead, they had a 14-point lead at half last season, I believe, in the sectional championship against Snyder. Looked completely dominant, and obviously we know how that one ended. Snyder ended up winning 49-35. I really don't see the same type of thing happening in this one as Homestead. They look completely dominant, and Carroll not able to do much, but you definitely think the Chargers are probably going to make some adjustments on the offensive end to try to get something else going, because Jeffrey Becker, he had a great game last week, but hasn't really done too much in the first half.
And Becker, he's been known for his running ability. It really hurt Homestead on the ground the last time these two teams played. Has Homestead being able to contain him better with his feet, help stop the Carroll offense?
Yeah, it seems like it. He's maybe had a few big runs, a few big passes, but outside of those, he hasn't really done much at all. This Carroll team, pretty much one player all relies on Jeffrey Becker. I bet if Carroll had a running back, even like Ryan Burton or Tyler Burris, I think they'd be a lot better, but their starting running back, Evan Harris, does have 484 rushing yards on the season on 95 carries, but really not a dynamic running back. They haven't really gone to him too much in this one. So I think it's going to be huge if this Carroll team can get off to a huge start, first on the defensive end, and then Jeffrey Becker needs to get something going. And this one does have 7 interceptions coming into this game. Played really well last week, but so far the Homestead defense has been able to shut them down in the first half.
Yeah, the defense has just gotten to him. And like I said, they've been getting to the backfield, and Becker, his passes are just off target almost every time, except for a few passes that have gone maybe 20 yards. He hasn't really had any of those passes for 10, 5 yards, just those middle-range passes, because this Homestead team is just forcing him under pressure, and they're getting him to think either take the sack or throw it deep.
And Homestead, the last time these two teams played, I believe, 15-12 or 14-12 at half. And they opened the first play of the second half, a 75-yard touchdown to Jared Kistler. Really opened the game up, gave Homestead a much-needed momentum boost. Do you expect Homestead to take a deep shot right out of the gates?
I wasn't thinking of it, but now that you mentioned it, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Jared Kistler has had a pretty quiet game this one. I don't believe he's had a catch really at all in this one. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Homestead tries to go for a deep ball the first play of the game, maybe catch Carroll a little bit off guard.
If I was Homestead, I would start off this half by going a nice, slow, methodical pace on their first drive, because if they can go slow and still put points up on Carroll, it'll really lower this team's morale.
And does Homestead have to watch for a potential onside kick from the Chargers to start the second half?
Yeah, you never know if Carroll's that desperate and think that they have to, not let Homestead get the ball first, which obviously the rate of success rate of getting onside kicks very low. May try something a little bit different, maybe a squib kick, not something that Homestead would expect.
For Carroll's sake, I'd really hope that they wouldn't do an onside kick, because I feel like if it doesn't go, this Carroll team's going to think nothing's going to go.
Or in the kickoff for the Chargers, Homestead up 17-0 as we start the second half. Jared Kistler and Caleb Fritsch back to return for the Spartans. Homestead looking to get some scoring on this first drive as we're off the second half. Fritsch fields it inside his 5. Gets to the middle of the field, tries to break it out past the right hash, and he's pulled down at his own 10. Flag is thrown.
Caleb Fritsch on the return. There's a flag.
This could be a huge call if it goes against Homestead.
End of the play.
If it goes against Homestead, then it will. A block in the back. Homestead
Block
starting with terrible field
Homestead.
position this first drive.
I think a goal for the Spartans now.
Move
the ball a little bit. We saw Homestead convert,
line.
a first and 36 play earlier in the game when they had terrible field position, similar to this. Don't have very good field position now. You said a 75-yarder. Go to Kistler at the start of the second half when these teams played last. This could be a 95-yard completion. You never know what might happen.
Homestead starts at their own 5, first and 10 on the right hash, 11:52 in the second half. Homestead up 17-0. Shotgun formation, Burton at running back, 2 receivers to the left. One to the right for the Spartans. Homestead backed up at their own end zone to start the second half of play. 24 minutes away from punching their ticket to regionals. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton up the middle. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much else.
Burton, the ball carrier.
As a swarm of Carroll defenders are there to stop him after a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Homestead.
And now is a time for Carroll to get some momentum on the defensive end, which may be able to translate into momentum on the offensive end. If the Charger defense can make a few stops here, make Homestead punt, they'll probably end up with some decent field position, but if you are the Spartans, just take it slow, run the time down. The clock is your friend right now. Only a 17-0 lead, but so far Carroll hasn't shown the ability to put up any points.
2nd and 9 for Homestead. Their own 6 on the right hash. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball is snapped. Fake handoff. Goody throws across the middle for Kistler. Deflected away by the Carroll defender.
Kistler, a flag on the play.
Ray Vollmer knocked it away. A flag is thrown.
Still a pretty good deflection by Ray Vollmer in the defense for the Chargers.
And we'll see what the penalty is. It looks like an ineligible receiver downfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield
for Homestead.
Is the call. The penalty's declined. Third
it's
down
declined, so it'll be 3rd and 9 for Homestead. Their own 6. Not the way they wanted to start the second half. They lead 17-0, 11:08 to go in the third quarter. Homestead lines up near the right hash. 3 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Shotgun formation as Homestead's backed up at their own end zone at their 6. Looking to get a big conversion. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw. Looking downfield, throws across the middle. Caught by Jake Archibald past the 20 before he's pulled down.
In the middle of the field.
A first down for Homestead. And they have it at their own 23. And every big third down conversion, it seems like Homestead's been able to convert.
Yeah, a great catch by Jake Archibald. Had 7 receptions for 82 yards and a receiving touchdown last week against Noblesville. He's had a lot of important catches in this one. 2 touchdowns for the Spartans, 1 rushing, 1 receiving.
1st and 10 for Homestead, their own 23. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball near the middle of the field. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Spartans up 17-0, 10:40 left in the third. Ball is snapped. Goody hands it off to Burton up the middle. Doesn't have much of a hole, and he'll be dropped after a gain of about 1 or 2.
And Homestead, the goal, just try to run as much time. There's still pretty much a full half left. But if you're the Spartans, you'd like to put up some points on this opening drive, whether it be a field goal or even a touchdown.
2nd and 8 for Homestead, 10-10 left in the third. They lead 17-0. Ball near the right hash at their own 20. 25 actually. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody back to throw on 2nd down under pressure. Takes a deep shot for Rogers. Just out of his reach. That could have gone a long ways, but instead it'll be 3rd and 8 for Homestead at their own 25.
And Goody took a big hit from a Carroll defender, knocked to the ground. No penalty. It was a clean hit, but this cold weather, players got to be freezing, and doesn't appear Lou Goody's wearing any gloves, so his hands have got to be freezing right now, making it a little bit harder to throw the ball.
3rd and 8 for Homestead, their own 25. Carroll in need of a defensive stop. Homestead lines up middle of the field, 2 receivers either side. At their own 25, Goody in shotgun formation with Burton. Homestead up 17-0, 9:59 left in the third. The Charger defense needs to stop for just some momentum. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw. Across the middle. Caught. Oh, incomplete. Archibald dropped it. Would have been a first down. But Jake Archibald makes a rare mistake. Goes through his hands, and it's 4th and 8 as Homestead will punt. Not with great field position.
No, and it all goes back to those penalties. Homestead, regardless of what happens in this game, they've got to be upset with how they performed in terms of penalties. They've had so many, probably outgaining Carroll 8-1 or something like that in penalties.
Goody back to punt at about his own 10. Bowden Height to return for Carroll just past midfield. Ball is snapped. Punt is up. It's a high one, not very far. It'll be fielded across midfield. Carroll will start in Homestead territory at the 47 with 9:48 left in the third. Homestead 17-0.
Yeah, very good start for this Carroll defense if they want to be able to come back in this one. Still down 17-0, but Homestead, they didn't take as much time off the clock as I thought they might. Let's see what adjustments the coaching staff for Carroll made at halftime. See if Becker can get into a groove similar to when he had 6 touchdowns last week against Snyder.
1st and 10 for Carroll at the Homestead 47. Becker in the backfield with Harris. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. He rolls out on 1st down, throws it right side for Bransfield. The tight end caught, knocked down after a gain of about 4 yards.
Good start to the second half for this Carroll team. A completion by Jeffrey Becker.
Coming up for Carroll.
Even though Goody, probably the best quarterback in the area, Becker still has over 1,800 passing yards in the season.
2nd and 6 for Carroll on the right hash. 3 receivers out left at the Homestead 44. Becker back to throw on 2nd down. Steps up under some pressure, rolls out right side. Backpedaling, evades a tackler and spins out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6 or 7 for the Chargers. 9:07 left in the third. Homestead up 17-0.
This is a big play for both teams. Carroll, they've got to complete this pass if they want any chance, probably. You got to get something going. You have some pretty good field position if you're the Homestead defense after not a very successful drive on the offensive end. For the Spartans, it'd be huge if the defense for Homestead's able to make a stop here and force a 3 and out for Carroll.
Big 3rd down for the Homestead defense. 3rd and 7 at the Spartan 44 for Carroll. 8:57 left in the third. Homestead with a 17-0 lead. Carroll has it on the right hash. They'll line up with 3 receivers out left, 1 out right. Becker in the backfield with Harris.
Looks like the referees are talking. So to be all good now.
The receivers will bunch up near the line of scrimmage. Interesting formation. Big 3rd down. Carroll still trailing 17-0. Homestead defense looking for a big stop. Becker back to throw on 3rd down. Steps up, throws across the middle. Caught by Bransfield, the tight end. He gets out of bounds at the right sideline for a 1st down. Inside the Homestead 35.
Yeah, Bransfield was wide open. The Spartan defense nowhere around him, and a huge conversion for the Carroll offense right there to keep the chains moving.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Carroll at the Spartan 33. They line up quickly on the right hash with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Becker in the backfield with Harris. He's back to throw on 1st down. Steps up, throws across the middle, caught by Height. He's taken down after a gain of about 9 yards. Got really close to the 1st down marker. It'll be 2nd and short for Carroll. 8:50 left in the third. Homestead up 17-0.
Just shy.
Carroll looking pretty good to start the second half on the offensive end.
They hurry up to the line. 3 receivers out right, 1 to the left. Ball middle of the field. Becker back to throw on 2nd and short. Throws it across the middle. Caught for a 1st down by Carroll. As that was Leighton Mitchell who got it for the Chargers. They have it in the red zone now inside the Homestead 20.
On the reception for Carroll.
And now the Homestead defense needs to step up, make a few big plays. Limit Carroll to only a field goal or less. You don't want to give up a touchdown here.
1st and 10 for Carroll at the Homestead 15. 8:25 left in the third. Receiver either side, tight end either side. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snapped. He's back to throw. Under some pressure. Becker, he's hit and taken down. A sack. Cam Rogers gets back there to take down Jeffrey Becker.
Holding on the Homestead defense. One of the Spartans was holding a Carroll receiver that's probably going to be coming back, unfortunately.
If there is a holding on the defense, that'll be huge.
Holding called on Homestead.
So that'll be 5 yards and automatic 1st down.
Another penalty on Homestead, and yet Carroll, not too many of those in this one.
We'll see where they mark it. I think it's 10 yards from the end of the play.
10-yard
and it's
penalty.
1st down. Still a big play. It'll be
play.
1st and 11 for Carroll at their own 16, or Homestead 16 rather.
1st down for
They
Carroll.
trail 17-0. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Ball in the middle of the field. Back in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snap back to throw. Rolls out right side. Throws in the corner of the end zone. Incomplete interference on Cole Etchison. He didn't turn around and maybe made a little contact with Bowden Height. So another costly penalty for Homestead.
Yeah, another penalty on Homestead. This is getting somewhat ridiculous, it appears. Seems like Carroll's only had 1 or 2, and it feels like Homestead has had about 10 penalties called on them in this one.
That'll be a pass interference on Homestead. 8:05 left in the third. Spartans up 17-0, but Carroll on the verge of scoring their first points of this ball game.
I think Homestead may have more penalty yards than Carroll has total yards of offense in this one.
And maybe they picked up the flag. It looks like Carroll. Oh, now they're marking, moving them forward. I think this will
Pass interference called on Homestead.
be half the distance to the goal.
Half the distance to the goal line.
And it'll be first
down
and 2.
goal.
Or
Make that first down and 3 for
first
Carroll.
and 2 for Carroll at the 7, or actually 8. Ball in the middle of the field, 2 receivers out right. Slot motions. Ball is snapped back to throw across the middle, caught by Bransfield. He's hit and stopped before the goal line by Jake Archbold. It'll be first and goal for Carroll.
And now the Homestead defense, the goal, just don't give up a touchdown. Make a few big stops, maybe force a turnover here, but looks like Carroll, they're getting really close to the end zone, maybe scoring their first points of the game.
First and goal for Carroll at the 3, 7:40 left in the third. Homestead up 17-0. Carroll line up on the right hash. Homestead looking to make a big goal line stand. As the officials are discussing something with Coach Zolman of Homestead. 7:39 on the clock in the third quarter. Homestead up 17-0. Led 17-0 at half. Carroll on the verge of cutting into that lead. And they just added some time to the clock, 7:55 now. Carroll lines up. 2 receivers to the right. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Receiver motions from the right. Ball is snapped. Becker keeps himself, runs out right side, spins around. He's down close to the end zone. They'll mark him at the 1.
Becker on the carry.
Homestead thinks I got a fumble, but I think they'll mark him down. And it'll be second and goal for the Chargers
second down.
at the 1. On the right hash, Becker up behind center, pitches it out to Height, and he's into the end zone. Or actually, Hunter Mertz runs it in. 17-6 Homestead now with 7:21 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, I felt that touchdown was almost inevitable based on the way that the referees were calling that drive for Carroll. Just penalty after penalty on the Spartans, and Carroll ends up scoring. It's now 17-6, still with the extra point coming, and this game got a whole lot closer.
17-6, 7:21 left in the third. Carroll flipped some of the momentum. It was all Homestead up until this point, but they had good field position to start this drive. The field position in the second half is what's been the difference. Extra point up and good. Trevor Horton connects on the extra point.
Homestead 17, Carroll 7.
17-7 now with 7:21 left in the third. Homestead, your offense now. You at least want to move the ball downfield because of field position.
Yeah, Carroll, all the momentum right now, and I don't really want to bring it up, but last year, remember what happened in the sectional championship game? Homestead, a 14-point lead at half. They ended up losing that one by 14. Still, so much time left in this one. Anything could happen, but I think the Homestead defense, well, obviously the Homestead offense coming back onto the field to receive the kick. The Homestead offense needs to move the ball down the field a little bit. You don't want to have too many penalties where you're backed up pretty much in your own 10-yard line like they were the previous drive. There's so many penalties on Homestead in this one. It seems kind of crazy how many penalties have had called against them. Probably their season high already. I wouldn't be surprised.
Carroll will kick off the Homestead. 7:21 left in the third. Spartans up 17-7. Fridge and Kistler back to return, looking for a better return than they had the last time. As Horton will kick off for the Chargers. They just cut into the score at 17-7. Now Homestead, 7:21 left in the third as the Spartans will get it back. They had it to start the second half up 17-0. Had to punt from their own 25, and Carroll had good position. Line drive kick for the Chargers, fielded by Fridge inside his 10, takes it up the right hash. Out past the 20, has some space along the sideline. Pulled down past the 30. And good job by Caleb Fridge to hold on to that ball as the Spartans will start at their own 33 after a solid return.
I think a good goal for this first set of downs right now for the Spartans is don't get a penalty. You want to move the ball down the field a little bit. You want to avoid a holding penalty or an eligible receiver downfield or something crazy like that. You just want to play some good football. And, I mean, in terms of football, they played incredible this game on both sides of the ball. Just the penalties would have been killing them.
First and 10 for Homestead at their own 33. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton, the running back. Spartans up 17-7. Slot motions from the left. It's a handoff to Archwell. Gets upfield 35-40. He's knocked out of bounds. They'll say he stepped out at about the 38. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Homestead.
Jake Archwell having a huge game for the Spartans. Accounted for the only touchdown so far. Had about a 20-yard rushing touchdown, then caught a pass from Luke Goody for a receiving touchdown in the first half.
2nd and 5 for Homestead on the right hash at their own 38. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton, the running back. Rogers up at wingback left side. Ball is snapped, handoff to Burton up the middle, powers forward, past the 40, taken down.
Burton on the carry.
About a yard or two shy of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and short for Homestead. 6:55 left in the third. Spartans up 17-7.
And this is a very important play for the Homestead offense to prove they're not going to get the ball back away to Carroll. Keep the chains moving, burn some more time off the clock. This is the big play right here for the Spartans offense.
3rd and 1. Carroll defense looking for a huge stop. Homestead lines up on the right hash. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Rogers in at wingback left side. Ball is snapped. Handoff to Burton up the middle. Gets the first down and then some. 50, 45, 40. Burton has some space and the ball gets stripped out. A scrum for the ball inside the Homestead 20, and it looks like Carroll comes away with it. We'll see who they give it to.
Burton the carrier, fumble on the play.
Officials yet to make a signal. And it looks like it will be Carroll ball. A huge turn of events, a costly turnover. As Ryan Byrne had a huge run, but got it stripped out from behind.
And the good thing is, if there is a positive takeaway from that turnover by the Spartans, he ran so far that Carroll, they actually have some pretty terrible field position right now. They're going to have to go quite the length of the field if they want to put up some points on this drive.
Carroll will start inside their own 20 at the 18, but Homestead killing themselves right now. A costly play. Carroll, the 1st and 10 at their own 18, 6:21 left in the third. 3 receivers out left. Becker back to throw on 1st down, throws it short for Mitchell, caught past the 25, gets upfield, he's taken down at about his own 28.
Mitchell, 12-yard pickup, 1st down for Carroll.
It'll be a 1st down Carroll. Has all the momentum now with the Chargers as they trail 17-7 with 6:14 left in the third. 3 receivers out right, 1st and 10 now on the left hash. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snapped. Rolls out right side. Becker looking downfield. Throws it right sideline. Caught. Out of bounds. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Carroll.
Is out of bounds. Incomplete.
Yeah, it feels like you said, Carroll, all the momentum right now. It just feels like Homestead, they just lost their touch of what they had in the first half. Their defense giving up quite a few big plays, but Spartans still lead by 10.
2nd and 10 for Carroll at their own 29. 6:08 left in the third. Spartans up 17-7. Chargers line up on the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker in the backfield with Harris. He's back to throw on 2nd down. Steps up, throws across the middle. Caught it for a 1st down by Leighton Mitchell. Gain of about 11. And Carroll has it at their own 40.
Becker, 11-yard pickup.
And this is the Jeffrey Becker that played last week against Snyder. I don't know where he went in the first half, but this is a completely different player compared to the first half.
1st and 10, Carroll, ball on the right hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker back to throw. Steps up, throws it right sideline. Way too high for his receiver, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Becker's pass incomplete, intended for Englert.
Looks like a flag is on the
flag on the
thrown.
play. Holding
on Carroll. So that'll move him back 10 yards, make it 1st and 20 for the Chargers. 5:50 left in the third. Spartans up 17-7.
That's one of the first times we've heard that statement. A penalty on Carroll this game. Seems like Homestead, they've had so many, but nice to see the Chargers there able to make mistakes as well.
That'll move Carroll back 10 yards from the spot. 1st and 22. 5:50 left in the third quarter. Homestead up 17-7. Carroll got it back on a huge fumble forced. They have it at the middle of the field. 3 receivers still left. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Tight end right side. Becker back to throw on 1st down. Throws it left sideline for height. Intercepted by Archbold. A huge turnover forced by the Spartans as Becker overthrew his man. And Jake Archbold with his 5th interception of the season. Homestead will take over at about their own 46.
Yeah, Jake Archbold really the star of this game for the Spartans, doing it on both sides of the ball. It looked like the receiver for Carroll. May have just fell down on his own. Bowden Height. Looked like it may have been a push, but nothing was called. A huge play for the Homestead defense to force a turnover right there, get the ball right back, and it's almost like where they left off a few minutes ago.
Homestead 1st and 10 at their own 46. A huge momentum shift as it was all with the Carroll Chargers. 5:43 left in the third as Homestead takes over up 17-7. Homestead breaks out of the huddle with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, ball in the right hash. Goody in the backfield with Burton, shotgun formation. Rogers up right side at wingback. Archibald motions from the slot, fake handoff. Goody throws across the middle, caught by Rogers inside the 35-30, cuts upfield. 25, 10, 5. He's tripped up and taken down. It'll be 1st and goal for Homestead at the Charger 5.
Goody hits Rogers down.
A nice play by Rogers.
Inside the 5-yard line.
A great catch, nearly a touchdown. The Spartans got to convert the situation. You're thinking Rogers looks like he's limping. He looks like he off the field now. Fell down, looks like.
It'll be 1st and goal for Homestead at the Carroll 5. 5:30 left in the third. Homestead up 17-7.
From the 5-yard line.
Rogers catches it and goes about 50 yards. I think he'll say 49. Ball in the right hash. Receiver either side. Goody in the backfield with Burren. Tight end to the left. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burren. Bounces it outside. Nothing going there. You'll get maybe about a yard. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's crazy how things can change in just span of a few plays. Looks like Burton a few drives ago nearly had a touchdown.
Ball carrier.
Then he lost it. It was recovered by Carroll. Then an interception by Jeffrey, thrown by Jeffrey Becker, and by Jake Archibald caught on the defensive end, and Homestead back in business now, almost to the end zone.
2nd and goal for Homestead. 2 receivers either side, ball in the middle of the field. At the 5, Goody back to throw, under pressure, rolls out left side, evades the sack, looks downfield, and he stumbles and falls back at his own 21.
Goody is
or the Carroll 21. A disastrous play, a loss of 16, and it's 3rd and goal, and that makes a field goal a lot harder.
Yeah, if you're Goody, you just got to throw that away. That he had time to throw it away, just stumbled, lost his balance, and kind of a worst-case scenario play right there for the Spartans. Out of field goal range right now, a very long 3rd down.
3rd and goal from the 21 for Homestead. 4 minutes left in the third. They lead 17-7. 2 receivers either side. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball near midfield, middle of the field. And Carroll's defense has to get a stop here. Homestead, maybe you just want to get it for a closer field goal. Goody back to throw. Takes a deep shot for Kistler, right corner. He catches it at the end zone. A touchdown. Homestead comes through on 3rd and goal. A 21-yard touchdown pass to Jared Kistler. And the Carroll defense has to be kicking themselves after that one.
Yeah, that play reminds me of somewhat of an Alabama-Georgia national championship a few seasons ago. Alabama quarterback took a huge sack. Next play, throws a game-winning touchdown, and Gooden took a huge sack. Play before, then threw a touchdown to Jared Kistler. A nice play right there. Put the Spartans up even more.
23-7, 3:44 left in the third, and what a roller coaster this second half has been.
Yeah, this has been crazy. A lot of momentum changes.
The 35, Gunnar Fry to attempt the PAT.
Gunnar Fry on to attempt the PAT. Perfect on kicks that haven't been blocked this year, or extra points that haven't been blocked. Ball is snapped, and flag is thrown. Looked to be some movement or encroachment. False start move the extra point back 5 yards. And Homestead 3rd and goal at the 21 after a terrible play. Goody finds Jared Kistler for a touchdown. Kistler's been silent in this game, but a crucial play.
Yeah, very important play to put the Spartans up by even more. Let's see what Gunnar Fry can do with this extra point, but that was quite a play from Goody to react after he took that sack and throw a touchdown. That's very impressive.
Fry on to attempt the extra points a little farther back now, as it'll be about a 25-yard extra point. Ball is snapped. The kick is up, looks to be good. And it is 24-7, Homestead 3:44 left in the third. And what a roller coaster the second half has been. Homestead got it up 17-0, all the momentum, couldn't do anything. Carroll then goes down and scores. They take, or cut into the lead 17-7. Homestead gets it back in a huge play by Ryan Burton, but he fumbles at the end. Then Carroll gets it back, all the momentum, and then they throw an interception. And then Homestead, next play, they get it down to the goal line. then Goody gets sacked back at the 21, and then they throw a touchdown pass somehow.
Yeah, quite the crazy third quarter. But Homestead still 24-7 lead. In case you're wondering, Carmel leads 35-7 over Westfield. I believe the mercy rule is in that one, so it's going to be Carmel. So if Homestead wins this one, Carmel will travel to Homestead. So the Spartans won't have to travel south like they did last week to Noblesville. They host Carmel if they hold on to win this one.
Homestead up 24-7, 3:44 left in the third, as Homestead will be kicking it off back to the Chargers. And it looks like Carter Dixon is kicking once again for the Spartans, as Gunnar Fry has them in kicking off. As Volmer, Lazoff, and Mertz are back to return for the Chargers. Homestead, a huge momentum shift off that last touchdown, a 21-yard pass, a squib kick up the middle. Carroll lets it bounce. He'll be fielded by Volmer at the 20. Gets upfield, and he'll be taken down shy of the 30.
Number 23, Ray Volmer.
So
on
Carroll
the return.
Offense back on the field. Jeffrey Becker threw an interception in this one. Goody had an interception earlier in this one. His only second pick of the season. The other one was against Northside. It's been quite a few turnovers in this one, though.
3:39 left in the third. Carroll down 24-7 after the Homestead touchdown. You think you got to get some points on this drive. As Becker leads them back out there at their own 29. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Becker in the backfield with Harris, tight end left side. Ball is snapped. Becker's back to throw on first down across the middle. Low for height, but he's able to come away with the catch. Actually, no, they'll rule it incomplete.
Becker's pass
They hit the ground. It'll be second and 10 for the Chargers.
Yeah, things seem to be going Homestead's way after kind of a rocky start to the second half. Quite a few penalties, and they didn't look the greatest, but Goody found Kissler on that incredible touchdown pass the last drive, and the defense looking steady already in this one.
Second and 10 for Carroll. Becker back to throw. Right sideline caught by Englert. He'll be pulled down out of bounds after a gain of about 4. And it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Chargers. A big 3rd and 6 with 3:20 left in the third. Homestead up 24-7.
Yeah, if the Homestead defense is able to make a stop right here, Carroll fans may start to feel a little bit more nervous.
3 receivers to the left, tight end right side, ball near the left hash. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Big third down, ball is snapped. He's back to throw. Throws it left side. Incomplete. Leighton Mitchell couldn't hold on through the contact he had in his hands, but he lost it as he went to the ground, and that'll make it 4th and 6. As Carroll will most likely punt here with 2:59 left in the third. Homestead up 24-7.
Perfect drive by the Homestead defense, and the Homestead offense going to get the ball once again. It's going to be a huge statement if Homestead's able to put up some more points on this next drive.
Horton to punt inside his 20. Archwell to return just in front of his 30. 2:59 left in the third. Homestead up 24-7. Bit of a low snap, but Horton recovers it. Punts it a bit high. Archwell fields it at his own 35, returns it, gets past the 40, gets upfield, 45 before he's pulled down. A solid little return from Jake Archbold. And Homestead will start at their own 47.
Yeah, pretty good return by Jake Archbold. Not the most yards, but was able to hold on the ball. Didn't give it back to the Chargers, and the Homestead offense back on the field once again. See if they can add up some more points.
1st and 10 for Homestead at their own 46. 2:50 left in the third. They lead 24-7. Ball will be set in the middle of the field for this drive. Burton out there at running back. 2 receivers to the right for the Spartans. Tight end at the right side. Rogers up at the wing back to the left. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Tight end, wing back switch locations. Ball is snapped. Goody throws a screen pass out to Rogers. Gets up to the 40, towards the 50, and he's taken down. Gain of about 5 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Spartans.
Good against Rogers.
Cam Rogers
5-yard
had
pickup,
3
second down
catches
and
for
5.
48 receiving yards last week on the win against Noblesville. He's been huge in this one, made a lot of important catches and a lot of important tackles on the defensive end for Homestead.
Homestead and Carroll field now at the 49. 2nd and 5 on the right hash. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton. 2:15 left in the third. Homestead up 17. Goody hands it off to Burton up the middle. Pushes forward for a few yards, and he'll be pulled down shy of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Homestead.
Burton, the ball carrier, up the middle.
An important third down coming up for the Spartans, who think if they don't lose a ton of yards, they may try to go for it anyway. But Homestead in a very good position right now.
1:55 left in the third. Homestead up 24-7, 3rd and 2. Or 3rd and 3, rather. At the Carroll 47. Need to get to the 44. Ball a couple of yards away from the right hash. Homestead lines up with the receiver either side. Tight end wing back to the right. Goody in shotgun formation with Burton. Actually, Archbold, Wildcat again. Fakes a handoff, runs it himself. Makes a couple men miss, but he's pulled down shy of the first down marker, so it'll be 4th and 2 for Homestead. You can only run the Wildcat so many times before it'll come up short.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that play call right there. Maybe not go for it on 3rd and short. But that play was effective earlier on in the game.
And Homestead will, it looks like they'll go for it on 4th and 3. There's a chance they can always punt it away. They have it at the Carroll 47. 2 receivers either side. Ball in the right hash. Goody will punt it. And that's a line drive. This will probably bounce at the 20. And Homestead will down it at about the Carroll 17. So a decent punt.
Goody on the punt.
And a player is down for Homestead. He'll get helped up, so he's fine. That's Ryan Burton. No injury there. 5:51 seconds left in the third as Carroll takes over. At about
ball is marked down at the 14-yard line.
their own 14.
First down and
so
10.
A good punt, and now the Homestead defense can go to work.
Yeah, Homestead defense has they played pretty well in this one. Only allowing 7 points against a Carroll offense that put up 42 against Snyder, the Panthers defense last week.
1st and 10 for Carroll at their own 14 as they line up with an empty backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball on the left, hash Becker, the quarterback. 1st and 10, Homestead up 24-7. Becker back to throw on 1st down. Across the middle, caught by Height before he's corralled to the ground by Luke Palmer. It'll be a gain of about 4 or 5 on 1st down,
Becker
making it
Height
2nd and 5 for the Chargers. 40 seconds left in the third. Homestead up by 17.
And most likely Carroll will head into this 4th quarter down by 17.
Empty backfield. No, they'll bring Evan Harris in. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Ball is snapped. Becker back to throw on 2nd down. Throws it right sideline. Bit underthrown, but still caught by Bowden Height for a 1st down. Out to his own 34.
Becker to Englert.
And a flag thrown.
Late.
This could be a penalty on Homestead after the play.
I don't think the refs liked how the Spartans tackled Carroll in that play.
And it may be a face mask? Not sure.
I don't think they're too sure either.
It's a personal foul after the play on Homestead. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. So a costly penalty as Carroll will move it
15-yard penalty after the play.
Further downfield with 19 seconds left in the third. Down 24-7. This one's not over yet. And Carroll will have good field position now. At their own 48 on the 10. Right hash. 1st and 10 now for the Chargers. They line up with 2 receivers out left, 1 out right, a tight end left side. Becker in the backfield with Harris right behind him. Tight end motions right, ball is snapped, handoff to Harris up the middle, gets some space to the 45-40. Harris downfield to the Homestead 35. Good for a 1st down, a gain of about 17 with 8 seconds left in the third.
16-yard pickup on the play, 1st down for Carroll.
Carroll hurries up, 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snapped. A sweep to the left. Harris, no, QB keeper. Becker runs it right side, 30. And he steps out of bounds with a 2nd left.
Becker on the carry.
Stop the clock. Homestead 24-7. It'll be second about 3.
7-8-yard pickup, 2nd down for Carroll.
2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball on the right hash, tight end left side. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Final play of the third quarter. Ball is snapped. Becker hands off to Harris to the outside. Runs outside. He's hit by Archbold and taken down by a couple Homestead defenders for no gain as Homestead heads into the 4th quarter with a 24-7 lead. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the 4th quarter of action.
This portion of today's broadcast on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard next to Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by dialing 969 Moe's, or for catering, that number is 969 Eats. Moe's specializes in southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now let's head back out to the stadium for more Homestead Spartan football right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back to Homestead High School as we're set for the final quarter of play. Homestead up 24-7. Carroll with it, 3rd and 5 at the Spartan 30. Homestead in good position to win, but Carroll, they're not out of this.
No, they're definitely not. They're in a very good scoring position right now. It's a pretty good field position. And I would still be surprised if Carroll had more total offensive yards than Homestead had penalty yards. The Spartans feels like they've had about 12 penalties called on them.
3rd and 5 for Carroll. At the Homestead 30, big play for them. 3 receivers out right. Tight end left side. Becker in the backfield with Harris. He's back to throw on 3rd down. Right side, he throws it for Height. Caught for a first down. Gets past the 20 to the 15 before he's pushed out of bounds on the right side. Bowden Height, a couple of receptions on this drive, and Carroll has it. Good position to score at the 15. 11:53 left in the 4th. Homestead up 24-7 still. They hurry up. 3 receivers out left. Tight end right side. Ball in the right hash. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snapped. Becker back to throw on first down. Left corner of the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Leighton Mitchell.
Becker hits Leighton Mitchell in the end zone for a
Leighton Mitchell scores from 15 yards out, and Carroll cuts into that lead. It's 24-13 now with 11:47 left in the 4th. This one's far from over.
Yeah, it is far from over, and I'm just a little shocked. It's like Carroll, they can look this impressive right now, but when I don't know, just other times they haven't really been that dominant with the ball, going 3 and out multiple times this game, but it seems like whenever they actually want to try, they can actually move the ball down the field. It's kind of weird.
Horton on to attempt the extra point. Ball is snapped, kick is up and good. 24-14, Homestead still with the lead, 11:47 left in the 4th. And Carroll moving the ball there. Homestead getting it back. You think they got to at least eat some time.
Yeah, they definitely have to eat some time off the clock if the Spartans want to win their first sectional championship since 2016. Only a 10-point game right now, 13 seconds into the 4th quarter, and this is going to be a huge drive for the Spartan offense. The defense gave up quite a few big plays in the last drive for Carroll, so the Homestead offense needs to get something going. They need to score a touchdown here if they want to put this one further out of reach. A 10-point game, it's definitely manageable for Carroll to come back and win this one.
Homestead 24-14, 11:47 left in the 4th. The Chargers defense heading out there, you got to get a stop.
Yeah, definitely. If you're Carroll, you got to make a stop for this Homestead offense. Give your team the ball back, being down by 10.
Horton will kick off to the Spartans. Kistler and Fritsch back deep to return. As Homestead's holding on to a 24-14 lead. Carroll just scored on a Leighton Mitchell touchdown reception. Kick is off. A pretty good one, a line drive. Fielded by Fritsch at his 5, out to the 10, and he'll be pulled down inside the 10. Ball comes out at the end. He was down on the ground, but they'll give it to Carroll. And they have it in position to score. It looked like he was down.
And the ball was probably going to bounce out of bounds, it looked like. So Homestead, in a sense, throwing the game away in one play.
As Carroll will have it at the Homestead 4 now with 11:39 left in the 4th. Spartans still up 24-14. It was either down or very close there.
Yeah, either way, I don't think the referees are going to be in favor of Homestead here. It looks like going to give it to Carroll.
A costly special teams mistake. And Carroll in a great position to score a touchdown. The Homestead defense now needing a stop, or Carroll can make it a 3-point game, as the momentum has completely flipped in this one.
Yeah, Carroll is one play away from scoring 14 points in about 25 seconds to start this 4th quarter.
2 receivers out right, a tight end to the left. Becker in the backfield with Mertz. Ball is snapped. Sweep out left side. Stop short. That was Tucker Steely. He'll be down at the 4, so 2nd and goal for the Chargers. 11:28 left in the 4th. Homestead 24-14 still.
And this Homestead defense hasn't gotten much rest. Recently, the offense really hasn't had a possession in quite a while. It's been a meaningful length.
2nd and goal for Carroll at the 3. 11:10 left in the 4th. 2 receivers out right, tight end left side. Becker in the backfield with Mertz. Ball is snapped, sweep to Steely. No, Becker keeps himself, looks into the end zone, throws it too high for Bransfield. Incomplete, and it'll be 3rd and goal for the Chargers. 10:58 left in the 4th.
And I'm not sure whether they would go for it on 4th down or kick a field goal right here. I mean, still a 3rd down coming up, but in case the Spartans are able to make a stop.
3rd and goal. The Homestead defense looking for a big stop at the 3. 10:58 left in the 4th. Carroll lines up left hash. 2 receivers out right. Tight end left side. Becker in the backfield with Mertz. And a timeout will be called by Carroll. And the Homestead defense. You didn't see yourself in this situation when Homestead was getting the ball kicked off back to them, but a terrible special teams play by Caleb Fritsch. And Carroll a chance to score and make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, and you just wonder if he didn't even touch the ball at all. Even if it didn't go out of bounds, it looked like it may have bounced into the end zone if he let it go. So yeah, it's kind of a questionable decision then for him to fumble it. Just compounding the errors for this Homestead team, and quite a few turnovers in this one for the Spartans. Last week they got away with it against Noblesville, but today Carroll, I mean, they still have a 10-point lead, but Carroll 1 play away from making it a 3-point game.
And Homestead has to feel like they've been a better team all game, but penalties and turnovers have killed them. That's their 3rd turnover for back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, just Homestead not really taking care of the ball as of recently, and just so many penalties in this one. I still think Homestead has more penalty yards than Carroll has yards of total offense in this one.
3rd and goal for Carroll at the 3. 10:58 left in the 4th. 2 receivers to the right, tight end right side. Becker in the backfield with Mertz. Big play. Tight end motions to the left. Slot motions out. Ball is snapped. Becker back to throw. Rolls out right side under pressure from Raber. Throws into the end zone. Intercepted by Archbold in the end zone. Jake Archbold, his 2nd interception of the game. A huge play. And Homestead keeps Carroll scoreless on that drive. 24-14, 10:51 in the 4th. I don't think there's any doubt who's been the MVP of this ball game.
Yeah, definitely Jake Archbold, and someone who's probably the most excited for that play, Caleb Fritsch, the one that fumbled the ball and gave Carroll great field position. If you're the Chargers, what a blown opportunity that was. But if you're a Homestead fan, probably the best thing that could have happened to that interception right there is the Spartans.
This second half is crazy.
Yeah, this has been a crazy second half. We thought last week was crazy against Noblesville. This week has even been more crazy.
And it was a touchback, so Homestead starts at their own 20. Goody in the backfield with Burton. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1st and 10. Ball in the middle of the field. 10:51 left in the 4th. Homestead up 24-14. Ball is snapped. Goody hands it off to Burton up the middle. Not much there, but he'll push forward for about 4 or 5 yards. Good carry despite not getting much of a hole.
2nd down and 5.
And Homestead will have 2nd and 5.
Pretty much the goal for the Spartans now is obviously don't turn the ball over. No penalties, or at least try to limit the penalties on this drive and just run the clock down. Still 10.5 minutes left. That's plenty of time for both teams to score, but if you're the Spartans, probably focus on running a little bit more.
2nd and 5 at their own 25. Ball in the middle of the field. 2 receivers to the left, 1 out right, and a tight end left side. That's Little. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Shotgun formation, tight end motions out right now. Receivers shift. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw. Left sideline caught by Archbold for a 1st down. He's dragged down after a gain of about 7 or 8.
8-yard pickup.
And it looks like he may have been tackled out of bounds. I couldn't quite tell, but if he did, a good play by the Carroll defense to stop the clock. Actually, no, the clock keeps running.
10 minutes left. Homestead up 24-14. An interception by Archbold saved the Spartans from giving up points to Carroll after a fumble on the kickoff. 1st and 10 for Homestead at their own 34. Ball on the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Rogers in at wingback up front. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Goody hands it off to Burton, bounces out left side, nothing going there, and he'll be dropped for a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Homestead.
Forward progress.
And something to note, they may come up
Loss of one
in
on the play.
near
Second
future.
down and
Carroll,
11.
they have already used a timeout, so they only have 2 timeouts remaining if time does become an issue for the Chargers.
2nd and 11 for Homestead. Ball on the left hash at their own 33. 9:10 left in the fourth. Homestead up 24-14. Goody in the backfield with Burton. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Little at tight end left side. Ball is snapped. Fake handoff. Goody back to throw under pressure. Rolls out right side. He's tripped up and sacked by Tucker Steely. Back at the 24.
Sacked by number 6, Tucker
A
Steely.
huge loss, about 9 in Homestead. Will be set back for about a 3rd down and 20.
Loss on the play.
Good thing is the
3rd
clock
down and
still
20 for
rolling,
Homestead.
coming down to about 8.5 minutes now.
Homestead has converted some crazy ones. And this one, they'll need it here as they line up with 2 receivers either side. 3rd and 20. Ball near the middle of the field. Homestead up 24-14. 8:20 left in the fourth quarter. We'll see how aggressive Homestead is here. They've converted on a couple long down situations. Ball is snapped. Goody back to throw. Steps up. Looks downfield. Can't find anyone. Rolls out right side. Throws it deep downfield for Archbold. Caught for a 1st down at the 50. Goody just keeps making these plays. Killing the Carroll defense.
And just when it seems like Homestead, they're not going to do the greatest, Luke Goody, an incredible throw to find a wide open receiver for the 1st down. This Carroll defense giving up so many big plays, but the Homestead offense, you got to give them credit. They're making all the right plays to continue and move on to regionals against Carmel next week.
1st and 10 for Homestead at their own 49 on the right hash. 7:50 left in the fourth. They lead 24-14. That's their 3rd play of 20-plus yards from the 1st down marker that they've converted. Goody is just making plays in this game. 1st and 10 for them now. They line up with 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton up the middle. Gets past midfield and he's tripped up and taken down after a gain of about
3-yard pickup.
3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Spartans at the Carroll 48.
So Homestead, after what appeared a few minutes ago, Carroll was going to score a touchdown after a costly fumble on about the 3-yard line. Jake Archbold interception, and Homestead offense moving it down the field ever since then.
2nd and 7 for Homestead at the Carroll 48. 7 minutes left in the fourth. Spartans up 10. Ball on the right hash. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Play action pass, screen pass out to Rogers left side. Cuts up past the left hash up to the 45-40. Past the 1st down marker, 35. Pulled down at about the Carroll 33.
Pass complete to Rogers.
Gain of about 15. And Homestead keeps the chains moving once again.
15-yard pickup. Homestead 1st
Actually,
down.
a final score to report. Concordia wins 56-6 over Peru. So cadets are going to regionals
to face the winner of Bishop Chatard and West Lafayette, probably the top 2 teams in 3A. So that'll be tough for them. 1st and 10 for Homestead, the Carroll 32 on the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Goody in the backfield with Burton Little at tight end left side. Homestead 24-14, 6:25 left in the fourth. Goody in shotgun formation with Burton. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton. Takes it outside up to the 30. Left sideline taken down, but a flag is thrown. This will probably be a hold. Now the way this game has gone, a 1st and 20 is actually a good down for the Spartans.
Yeah.
Holding on Homestead.
You never know. Goody's been able to complete some crazy plays. And actually, another score update. East Noble wins 14-7 over Leo. I had the Lions upsetting East Noble, but the Knights remain undefeated.
We'll replay 1st
East Noble
down.
winning their first sectional in quite some time.
Homestead 1st down and
A
18.
tough game. Their toughest in quite a while. As Homestead gets pushed back 10 yards from the spot. Another costly penalty, another hold. And they have 1st and 18. 6:13 left in the fourth. Homestead up 24-14. With it at the Carroll 40 now. On the left hash. Good news for Homestead is Goody's converted. Deep passes all game. At least 3 in these type of situations. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Rogers the wing back right side. Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burton up the middle. Tries to bounce outside, but he'll be pulled down after about 2 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 16 for Homestead.
It's about midway through the fourth quarter right now. If you're Carroll, you maybe start wondering about the time soon if Homestead continues to run the ball like they are.
5:50 left in the fourth. Homestead up 24-14. 2nd and 16 at the Carroll 38. As Homestead breaks formation with 3 receivers out right, tight end left side, Goody in the backfield with Burton. Ball is snapped. Goody backwards pass to Archbold. He'll throw downfield to a wide open Kistler. Caught at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Homestead. Jake Archbold. He's thrown for a touchdown now. He's ran for a touchdown. He's caught a touchdown, and he has 2 interceptions. And this passing touchdown goes to Jared Kistler for 38 yards. His second receiving touchdown. It's 30-14 Homestead. 5:21 left in the fourth. Homestead pulling out all the stops in this one. Lots of trick plays, lots of trickery, lots of magic in this one.
Yeah, quite the playbook in this one. Archbold getting so much action in somewhat of a quarterback position, like you said, passing, receiving, rushing, and 2 interceptions on the defensive end. So by far, probably the most impactful player on this Homestead team on either side of the ball in this one.
Fry to attempt the extra point now, looking to make it 31-14 Homestead with 5:21 left in the fourth. What a night it's been. A fun game. Fry's extra point is up. And that's good. And the score might not look like it's the closest right now, but this has been a fun second half. It's been a roller coaster. So many twists and turns.
Yeah, Carroll, they were 1 play from making it a 3-point game, but Jake Archbold, an interception a few minutes ago, and Archbold a passing touchdown right there to Jared Kistler. Like you said, his second receiving touchdown of the game. Yeah, when the Carroll coaches watch this game back on film, there's so many things that the Charger defense, so many big plays they've given up to this powerful Homestead offense, and Homestead 17 points, 5:21 left. You think it's probably safe enough, but you never really know until the game ends.
And the way this game's gone, anything can happen still. But Jake Archbold probably having one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen in a high school game, or at least that I've broadcasted. Homestead will kick off back to Carroll. 5:21 left in the fourth. Spartans with a 31-14 lead after Jake Archbold on a trick play threw it downfield for Kistler. He caught a touchdown. It's been a wild game for Jake Archbold. If you're just now joining us, ran for a 20-yard touchdown out of the Wildcat, caught about a 9-yard pass for a touchdown, has 2 interceptions, one of them extremely important in the last drive, and now is thrown for a touchdown. The kick is off. Fielded by Volmer at his 15, bounces out left, hash 25, gets to the sideline, 30 upfield, 35, out to the 40 before he's pulled down, and a great return by Ray Volmer. Carroll with good field position to start as they have 5 minutes and 12 seconds left to try and scale the 17-point deficit.
Yeah, if you're Jeffrey Becker and the quarterback for the Carroll Chargers, you got to make something happen quick. They've done a very good job at running a very high-pace, high-tempo offense, moving very quickly, but still only 14 points scored in this one.
Carroll has it at their own 42 on the left hash, 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker in the backfield with Harris. Ball is snapped. Fake handoff to Harris. Becker back to throw. Rolls out right side under pressure. Rayburn chasing after him. He gets the sideline out past the 40. And he'll run out of bounds for a loss of about 1 or 2.
That's a long way for Becker to run to only lose 2 yards. Ran about the length of the field, or the width of the field.
Second and 12 for Carroll. 5:04 left in the fourth quarter. Homestead up 31-14. They have it on the right hash. 3 receivers out left. Tight end right side. Becker in the backfield with Harris. He's back to throw now on second down. Looks downfield. Throws it for Mitchell. Intercepted. That's Archbold again taking it back. 35, 30, 20, 10. At the 5, he's in. A flag is on the play. But Archbold with a pick 6 is going to be a hold. If this stands, Archbold now has his 3rd pick and a pick 6.
I think out of respect for Jake Archbold and what he's done this one, the referee should pick up that flag. I don't care if it was a penalty on Homestead. With what Archbold has done in this game, like you said, probably one of the most impressive performances ever.
We'll see what the penalty is. It looks like there's 2 flags, actually.
2 flags on the play.
Player celebrating looks like it may stand.
Holding on Carroll is 1.
On Homestead.
They decline.
On Carroll Penalties declined.
Holding on Carroll declined.
Touchdown stands.
The touchdown stands, and Jake Archibald with his third interception, the pick six. Homestead leads 37-14. 4:50 left in the fourth. What a special game for Jake Archibald, the senior. Played quarterback last year. Changed his role this year. Plays slot, plays safety, does it all. And this game has been special for him.
Yeah, Jake Archibald. There's such a thing as an MVP game. This is
foul called on Homestead.
A personal foul. Not going to matter too much. Spartans already huge.
The personal foul is called on Carroll after the play.
Actually on Carroll
after the play, so now being forced on the kickoff. Extra point for Homestead
on the kickoff.
As they lead 37-14 with 4:50 left in the fourth. And barring a collapse of epic proportions, Homestead will be facing Carmel next week at home.
Yeah, this is it. What a game. Jake Archibald, MVP of this game by far. This is quite a performance from him on both sides of the ball.
Fry to attempt the extra point. You just can't talk enough about the way Jake Archibald has played. 3 interceptions. He's been the player of the game on offense and defense. Ball is snapped. Fry's extra point is up and good.
Attempt is up and good by Gunnar Fry.
That makes it 38-14. Homestead with 4:50 left in the fourth. What a game.
Yeah, and if Jake Archibald doesn't win the Outside the Huddle Player of the Week, then something's messed up. I don't care performances that someone from South Adams or some other schools had. This is quite a performance against the top competition in the state. This is 6A, the biggest class in Indiana. Jake Archibald, he's got to be feeling incredible right now. The performance that he's been putting on, like you said, both sides of the ball. 3 interceptions, a passing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown. He's done it all this game.
Jake Archibald just playing incredible. And the second interception was huge. Carroll had it at the 3-yard line, a chance to make it a 3-point game. He got the interception, and now it's 38-14 Homestead.
Yeah, and when you look at this season as a whole, Jake Archibald has made some of the biggest plays the entire season for the Spartan team.
Homestead will kick off now as Carroll's back to return. They get moved up 15 yards, so they're kicking at the Carroll 45. You probably just squib it here.
You never know.
4:50 left in the fourth. Homestead up 38-14. You know, the second half, it seemed at times that Carroll could really get back into the game, but then something's happened and Homestead's been able to pull away right again.
Homestead will kick off from the Carroll.
Dixon to kick off again for Homestead. He's taking over as a kickoff specialist in this game. He kicks a line drive, and he'll just kick it through the back of the end zone.
Kicked into the end zone.
That'll be a touchback, and Carroll will start at their own 25.
Down
this feels good.
4.
Very comfortable lead for the Spartans, 38-14. Outcome not in question. May want to start thinking about putting some players in who don't really get a chance to play a lot. There's pretty much zero chance for Carroll to come back on this one.
We just got the word Carmel did win 35-7 over Westfield. So barring a miracle comeback for Carroll, Homestead will be facing Carmel at home next week. That'll be a special game. Carroll takes over at their own 20. 4:50 left in the fourth, down 38-14. Becker out there at quarterback, 3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Back to throw on first down under pressure. Steps up, rolls out right side, throws it downfield. Incomplete through Bransfield's hands. Could have had 20-plus yards there, but just went off his fingertips. It'll be second and 10 for Carroll back at their 20. 4:43 left in the fourth, Homestead up 24.
And if you're Carroll, you want to make the score a little bit more respectable. You got to catch that if you are Bransfield. For the Chargers, 14 points, not the greatest against a very good Homestead defense.
Second and 10 for Carroll. Ball on the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Becker back to throw, rolls out right side. Right sideline caught by Mitchell, knocked out of bounds at the 35. Leighton Mitchell.
Number 19, Leighton Mitchell.
He's done his thing in this game. I believe he was the conference's leading receiver heading into this one.
14-yard pickup.
Has over 700 yards on the
Carroll.
year. And Carroll will get the first down at their own 34. 4:37 left in the fourth. Homestead up 38-14. First and 10 on the right hash. Becker back to throw. Under pressure. Palmer hits him, and Trey Hurst can't finish the job. He escapes, rolls out left side, gets upfield at the 40-45 for a first down. What a wild play. Palmer seemed to have pulled him down. And it looked like Hurst was going to pull him down. And then Becker escaped, broke another tackle, and got the first down, and a flag isn't at the end of the play.
Yeah, Becker celebrating like that play will change the outcome of this one. 38-14, the Spartans lead.
A personal foul on Homestead, so this game it's close to being over, but Carroll will get 15 yards added to the end. 4:23 left in the fourth. Homestead 38-14.
Carroll getting a lot of favorable calls, to say the least, in this one.
Carroll, 1st and 10 at the Homestead 37. Ball in the left hash. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Tight end left side. Becker in the backfield with Harris, the running back.
After the penalty, 1st down and 10 for Carroll from the Homestead 37.
Ball is snapped. Becker back to throw on 1st down. Steps up. Throws across the middle. Incomplete. Looking for Leighton Mitchell. Skips in front of him. It'll be 2nd and 10. 4:12 left in the fourth.
And if you're Homestead, I know the game isn't quite sealed yet, but it probably is. If you're Homestead, and I'm a coach, I take all the starters out of this game. Braden Hardwick got injured against Carroll. It wasn't direct contact, but you just can't afford any injuries going forward, so probably take the starters out, even though the game isn't quite in hand yet.
2nd and 10 for Carroll at the Homestead 37. Becker back to throw. Throws left sideline. Caught for a 1st down inside the 20. That's Englert down to the Homestead 18. It'll be 1st and 10 Carroll inside the Homestead 20. Spartans leading 38-14. 4:05 left in the fourth.
1st down for
At this point, Carroll just trying to make the score look more respectable. That's pretty much it.
1st and 10 at the 19. Ball in the left hash. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Bransfield, the tight end, right side. Becker in the backfield with Harris in shotgun formation. Ball is snapped. He's back to throw on 1st down. Looks left side in the end zone. Deflected, incomplete. Malik Mickens with a good defensive play there for the Spartans, knocking it out of bounds. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. 3:47 left in the fourth.
I have a feeling this may be a long 3:47. Carroll trying to do everything they can to put up as many points as possible the final few minutes.
Ball is snapped. Becker back to throw right side. Right sideline caught by Mitchell inside the 10. Actually incomplete. It was knocked away by Donovan Leonard. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for Carroll at the Homestead 19. 3:41 left in the fourth. Spartans up 38-14.
Trey Hurst with another big hit on quarterback Jeffrey Becker. Knocked him to the ground. And Hurst, someone that really doesn't get a lot of playing time, but nice to see him out there making some plays.
3rd and 10 for Carroll at the Spartan 19. 3 receivers out right, 1 out, 2 out left, empty backfield. Ball on the left hash. Ball is snapped back. Becker back to throw on 4th down. Deep into the end zone. Intercepted by Archbold again. His 4th interception. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jake Archbold with his 4th pick. That brings his total up to 8 on the year, and Homestead takes over with 3:36 left in the fourth.
If you're Jeffrey Becker, quit football. No, but Jake Archbold, an incredible game so far. I don't take that seriously. Jeffrey Becker's still a great player, but Archbold has really had his number in this one. I can't even explain how impressive Archbold has been in this one for the Spartans. Incredible.
And Homestead heads out there 1st and 10 at their own 20. 3:36 left in the fourth. Spartans up 38-14. And Jake Archbold heads off to the sideline. The performance of the year, no doubt.
Definitely.
2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Ball in the middle of the field. Goody's still out there. Burton out running back. Ball is snapped. Handoff to Burton up the middle. Gets upfield past the 25. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 5 or 6. 3:25 left in the fourth. Homestead up 38-14.
Yeah, if you're Homestead, I don't really see a point of putting the starters back out here.
2nd down and 4.
You don't want to risk any injuries at all from this point on.
As Burton heads off, Tyler Burris into the game now for the Spartans. 3:08 left in the fourth quarter. Homestead up 38-14, 2nd and 4 at their own 26. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Ball placed in the middle of the field. Goody in shotgun formation with Burris. Goody back there. Ball is snapped. Handoff to Burris up the middle. Pushes forward a few yards, taken down. Enough for a first down, about 5. Homestead keeps the chains moving. 2:43 left in the fourth.
For a Homestead 1st down.
Yeah, and once again, if you're Homestead, I think you take the starters out, especially Goody. You cannot risk any injury going forward against Carmel. You're going to need everyone to be at full strength if you want to compete in that one.
2:30 left in the fourth. Homestead up 38-14. First and 10 at their own 31. Ball in the middle of the field. If you're just now joining us, Jake Archbold's had the game of the year. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Goody in the backfield with Burris. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burris up the middle. Pushes forward for a few yards. He's taken down. Gained about 4 on first down. Another solid gain. Tyler Burris in a lot of positive yardage in this one.
Yeah, at this point, just 2 minutes away from the Spartans capturing their first sectional title since 2016. Been quite the performance. You know, we thought it was going to be Snyder that Homestead would play, but I'm pretty happy with this result. Homestead destroying their rival Carroll in a sectional championship game.
2nd and 6 for Homestead at their own 35. 1:38 left in the fourth. Spartans up 38-14. 2 receivers out left, 1 out right. Wingback left side, Goody in the backfield with Burris. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Burris up the middle. Hit immediately, but he'll push forward for a couple of yards.
Burris the ball carrier.
Gain of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Spartans. 1:14 left in the fourth.
I wonder if there may be enough time just to run out the clock if they run the next play. I don't think so. Actually, I think this is it. Yeah, this is going to be it. 1 more play and Homestead is sectional champions.
55 seconds left. Homestead up 38-14. As they'll break out. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 last play for Homestead. Scavo motions from the slot. It's a sweep out to him. Gets some space. He's pulled down after a gain of about 1, but that'll be the final play in this ball game. As Homestead will hold on to win 38-14 over their rival Carroll. Win the sectional for the first time since 2016 and advance to regionals to face the Carmel Greyhounds at home.
Yeah, what a performance from the Homestead Spartans. They played pretty solidly the entire game. Really the only negative thing that happened the entire game, I guess, a few turnovers and a lot of penalties, but overall, Luke Goody, an incredible game. Jake Archbold did pretty much everything for the Spartans in this one on both offense and defense. Just a really great game from Homestead as they destroy their rival 38-14.
Yeah, I mean, early in the game, it looked like Homestead was maybe stumbling a little bit. You know, it was they were keeping Carroll into the game, but as it went on in the second half, it just seemed like Carroll had kind of lost hope and lost their morale. You know, they were getting like good plays and then following up with bad mistakes. So for those reasons, that's why Homestead's walking out with the sectional championship.
And we've mentioned it before, but Jake Archbold, the performance of the year. Let's look at the offensive end. He ran the ball a lot out of the Wildcat, had at least 1 20-yard touchdown, had quite a few yards. Receiving-wise, he had a lot of catches, had a receiving touchdown, and then threw 2 passes on trick plays. One went for a 38-yard touchdown, another one went for about 50 yards. And then that's just the offensive side of the ball. On defense, he had 4 interceptions, including a pick 6.
Yeah, I mean, you just explained it. He did pretty much everything for the Spartans in this one. Lou Goody also had a great game, but Jake Archbold, I think it was a good move for him to transition away from the quarterback position, because without that, I mean, tonight's game never would have happened. I think he's utilized very well in this Homestead team, playing pretty much whenever he wants in whatever position he wants, and he's proven it. He's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Archbold looked like one of those 1930s football players who just plays every single position, like George Gipp or something. He was absolutely crazy. I've never seen a game like this, and I don't think I'll ever see a game like this again. That was a special performance out of Archbold. He'll definitely remember that.
And just looking at the numbers for Homestead, looking at rushing, Ryan Byrne, a very good game despite the fumble. 25 carries for 159 yards. Archbold had 8 carries for 60 yards. Burris, 9 carries for 34 yards. And Goody was 11 of 18 for 211 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Archbold, 2 of 2 for 66 yards and a touchdown. And through the air, Archbold had 5 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. Cam Rogers, 4 for 98. Kistler, 2 for 59 and 2 touchdowns. And Little, 2 for 22. So Jake Archbold, an incredible game all around. And what a game for Homestead.
Yeah, just what a game for Homestead. They captured the victory bell. Or actually, they already captured the victory bell. They captured the sectional championship, rather, with this win over Carroll. Many thought it'd be a lot closer tonight, and it pretty much was closer tonight, aside from halfway through the fourth quarter when the Spartans kind of took control. But Carroll, they were one play away from making it a 3-point game towards the start of the fourth quarter. They had all the momentum, but then Jake Archbold just kind of went off and just had so many interceptions in a row on the defensive end. A huge one that when Carroll was on Homestead's 3-yard line or around there, about to score a touchdown, but Jake Archbold picked it off, and that was pretty much it. An incredible performance for this Homestead team.
Yeah, you can hear those fate sounds of the victory bell. It's just an amazing time. It's been an amazing game for Homestead. They're happy. Everybody's happy. Well, on this side of the field. It's just been an amazing.
At this time, we'd like the Homestead captains to come to midfield.
And we hope you tune in next Friday as the Homestead Spartans will host the Carmel Greyhounds in a regional matchup. Before we leave, we want to give a quick thanks to some of our sponsors, including Casa Restaurante, Moe's Southwest Grill, Arby's at Coventry, and Marco's Pizza at Illinois and Scott Road. Thanks to our board out back in the studio for pushing all the right buttons and making us sound good, along with station manager Andy Dunn and stadium producer Adam Schenkel for taking care of the on-site technology. Their final score is Homestead 38, Carroll 14 as the Spartans improved to 11-0 on the season, win their first sectional since 2016, defeat their rival Carroll Chargers, and advance to a regional matchup with the Carmel Greyhounds. For Matt Saalfrank and Braden Carroll, I'm Donnie Harmon. Thank you once again for listening to another presentation of Homestead Spartan Football. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week as we say goodnight from Homestead High School. You've been listening to Homestead Football on the Point 91 FM.